Hello, I'm professional broadcaster Dan McDowell, letting you know that you are about to hear one of our free podcasts. But if you'd like to subscribe at dumbzone.com, you'll get 4 shows per week, plus the weekend wrap-up and any bonus sods like our Business Wednesday interviews. So, if you forgot how to use the 15-second rewind, that's dumbzone.com to subscribe. Now, on to today's program.
The Dumb Zone.
Today's Monday show is brought to you by Fair Lease. Check them out at fairlease.org. That is where you want to lease your next vehicle. And we are actually doing a remote with Fair Lease. It is at the Haas Motorcycle Museum, Haas Moto Museum, up North Dallas Way, Addison Way. It's February 7th. It'll be noon to whenever we decide to leave. They will have leasing agents on site. They'll have cool motorcycles and stuff. Leasing is easy with Fair Lease, Drive Now, Pay Later. We've heard from a lot of people who have worked with Fair Lease. Got that white glove service. This from Robert. He worked with Matthew at Fair Lease. They delivered a brand new Chevy Tahoe, or new to him, Chevy Tahoe, right in his driveway. Check them out at fairlease.org and check us out February 7th at the Haas Moto Museum.
Nice job on that live spot.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And that's who Dan represents, bro. People don't realize how high morale he had the team, the spirit he gave the defense, the energy, what he kind of gave all the players. Like, Shark Week, Fight Night, showing us boxing clips of motherfuckers getting knocked out. Like, that's the type of dude he was.
Had me ready to run through a wall.
Yeah,
he had me ready to run through a wall. And he's just a genuine person, like.
And I sit in that Commanders team now. Like.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Why does everything got to stab you?
That's the way it is, my man.
Big football weekend to talk about. The best football weekend, perhaps, of the year?
Yeah.
Like just every year, divisional round playoffs.
I think so.
You're going to get something good.
I would bet this is the biggest Vegas weekend for travel. For like among big sport, between wild card, conference, and divisional, I bet divisional's numero uno.
Yeah, I think that's why we went to Cosm yesterday, because our buddy Jeff said that's what he and his buddies have done for years, but now he's got a list of things he's done with, and one of those things is Vegas. So he didn't go to Vegas. Instead, he went to Cosm in Dallas.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the list of things he's done with.
Well, we could do it later. I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
Who's this guy? Some other guys here.
This is Dexter.
He's our hero today.
Dexter
He answered the call.
is video man for today.
Yeah.
There were 2 people with similar credentials, but I thought, let's go with the Dexter.
Yeah.
You just like the name Dexter.
I think we need to get on Dexter's good side.
I would think. Well, Dexter at heart is a good man. He only will murder those who have... He deems it to be a proper murdering.
Yeah, but it's kind of...
deserving of it.
Yes, but it's selfish.
What do you mean?
Because he has to get rid of this side of him somehow. And so he chooses to kill people.
But again, the people that he chooses to kill kind of deserve it anyway.
Well, our video equipment that we've been using is actually at the inauguration.
True.
It's in the process of a property ownership transfer.
Jake doesn't want to talk about Dexter.
Video Man is... Nobody does. Video Man is at the inauguration, along with the Paul brothers and Conor McGregor. And
Are they really?
Oh, yeah. Theo Vaughn.
Are we covering the inauguration today at all?
Akash Singh.
Akash is doing a show with... I think it's with Full Send or All In, one of the 2 big bro crypto lift weight podcasts that Trump was on. They have Akash on today for live coverage.
Yes, we are covering the inauguration.
I'm big bro.
The what?
I'm big bro crypto guy.
Did I say it wrong?
Who goes to the gym?
Nah, dude.
No?
You don't even know about these guys.
I'm not that?
I mean, you were kind of with one of them yesterday. He made a quick 5X on Trump coin at 3 o'clock in the morning the night before.
Yeah, I'm on things like after everybody else gets on them.
Sure.
I don't know about them when they're happening.
Yeah.
You look cool in your Dustin Keller hoodie, though.
Hey, thanks, man. It's very warm. It's necessary. It's very cold out there. Don't know if you guys have noticed. The weather in DFW, extremely cold in the D.
Yeah, but it's not like pain in the ass. It's not freezing or anything. You know, we're not in a vortex yet.
No,
it will be.
But it's keeping me inside.
Polar?
Of the polar variety, perhaps?
So we're live streaming today because Dexter is our video man. And we will have Landry Locker on with us later to talk football.
Our NFL insider. His team got screwed.
Yeah, he covers Houston.
Them versus everybody.
That's right. Yeah, I want to get into that. But I also want to get into a weekend check brought to us by Community Mechanical. They're the guys. It's HVAC. Have they been out to your place yet?
No, because everything's not done. But he's going to be very helpful for me because when everything's done, he's going to come in and be like, well, here's all the ways that they probably screwed you up.
They're coming to my house Wednesday.
Look at that. That's a business Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been out here for preventative maintenance just to kind of, I don't think I've had anybody look at our stuff, our HVAC unit in years. And they actually found an exhaust duct in my furnace was loose and basically dumping carbon monoxide into the attic.
Sick.
And that could be a bad bit. So it'd be a great time now, especially before the big, like you said, winter vortex or whatever they're going to call it this year gets here for some preventative maintenance. And, if you need to replace your unit, they would absolutely love to handle that. So whether it's changing out an old system or just making sure that all the rooms are heating and cooling properly, Community Mechanical will do it at an affordable price. They're big listeners, and they will give you an extra special deal if you mention that you heard about them right here. CommunityDFW.com or 469-667-7290. Says here on the copy, call or text.
Yeah.
Let's say you just like texting.
This is straight from Travis. Tell them they can text that main line, especially after hours. There's a good chance I'm on there responding.
Oh, yeah. So
There you go.
you're getting your cups a little bit, you're feeling a little loosey-goosey, and you're like, I wonder what Travis is about.
Test that out tonight.
How big a boy are you?
Yeah. So
What a
thanks to
weekend
them.
it was, man.
Do you want to lead off with weekend check? I don't know that I have the closer.
Well, we can transition into what we did yesterday, but it was a great weekend for football. I know that. I went to my first daddy-daughter dance on Saturday. Did you do that back in the day?
January 18th?
Yeah.
What for?
The city puts it on, I guess, or the school district puts it on.
Isn't it for Valentine's Day?
No.
Okay, I mean, you're about to have one at Valentine's Day. I used to always
don't
go
have
to the one
one.
at the Grapevine Rec.
There's not one for us. There's a one for moms and sons in March.
There's not still the one at the Grapevine Rec?
If
Daddy,
there is,
daughter?
I've not been made aware of it. It's not on. There's a little calendar for events, and that's
Okay.
yeah.
No, that
so
was definitely a thing. That's
this-
a cool bit.
it was
I love it.
through the rec. It was at a church. But yeah, it was cool. It was I don't know. I didn't really know what to expect. I've never done anything like that before. Put on a suit.
Yeah,
Well,
you're play acting. You're
yeah.
greasing her up. You're grooming her to know how these things go in the future. And you
That
get
part's a
dressed
little
up.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That part's a little uncomfortable.
No, I had to get. I gave my daughter. She was a little 4-year-old. I gave her one of those drink covers you could put on your drink and just drink out of a straw, just so you don't get roofied.
Yeah, I gave mine a dental dam.
Oh, okay, interesting. You want to cover all the safety.
Yep. It was mermaid
I'll-
themed, so I bought a tie that looked kind of like turquoise, light blue fish scales, and I was like, I'm absolutely killing this.
Yeah.
Like nobody else is doing this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were.
Oh, they were.
They were. If you live in an area like this, I feel like you just need to assume that if you put a little effort in, you'll be in the average group. Because there's going to be a guy who shows up with like a cinema-grade King Triton.
Sure. There's going to be a guy in a flannel and jeans.
There were a couple of those.
But, yes, just put a suit jacket on and a tie.
Yeah, and I made sure it was, like I said, underwater themed.
You'll be mid, but at least you won't be the worst.
Yeah, and that's a conversation to be had with your daughter, too, because, she got a mermaid dress. Mm-hmm. Very nice. She had a bag. And, I'm like, you look amazing. And we're talking about it when we get there. Same deal for the ladies, for the little girls. There's going to be some girls who their shit's just better than yours, And we both know it. So she would find somebody who had like the super ornate, mermaid get up on, and it was clearly they had spent some money and some time. She's like, "Is that one better than mine?" And I just look at her like, what are you? It is. There's going to be some better, but like one of the stations was putting on makeup for them. That's great.
Yeah, especially if like that's a thing you're trying to hold off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should wear makeup to
full on blush,
teenager or
mascara.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have like a station with scissors where you could just cut a little sleeve slit?
Yeah. How about a tattoo?
Why not? Tattoos aren't horror coded.
Well, it's just the.
Yeah, but why not? Yeah.
At that age, sometimes my point is just the age. It's
yeah.
like,
no, it's tough.
How about a ear piercing center? Like that's something my wife had a big rule about. No ear piercing till you're a teenager.
And that held?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the fight that we're going to have is the phone.
But it also made it more desirable.
Yeah.
If you lay something out so early and you say you cannot do this until this time, now that's going to be the next 6 years you're just thinking about, man, I can't wait until I get that ear pierced.
Yeah. Just give them free reign right away,
Perhaps. I mean, I have another friend.
In the Cheerios.
Yeah, I had a friend who pierced their baby's ears. And I think that's common, somewhat common.
Yeah, I think it feels like in the South it is. But so that was fun,
4-year-old. I got a friend who has a 4-year-old with a tongue piercing. It's really weird.
How are tongue piercings doing? I feel like they went the way of how old are you, Dexter? 38. So, like, when Korn and Limp Bizkit and all that stuff was really popular, I feel like the tongue ring was just popping. 311. Bands like Dirty Whites, Dirty Whites, I think, dominated the tongue ring space. And I was amongst a lot of Dirty Whites. And so I think it feels like it's been phased out.
Yeah, I think the nose hoop is a bigger deal now.
Do see that still.
Than the tongue piercing.
Do see that at the coffee place.
Sometimes the eyebrow pierce.
Yeah.
The upper ear.
Eddie, my roommate, had one of those.
My daughters recently both just got the upper ear, which is the cartilage. I guess that actually hurts and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot more. But that's a deal.
So, I had a situation come up on Friday. I was telling Dan about this a little bit yesterday, but I have a financial situation where I'm getting charged by the Wall Street Journal $42 a month for a subscription that I can't access so that I can't cancel it. Haven't had a paid subscription to the Wall Street Journal in a year. When I log into the Wall Street Journal...
Do you know where it's charging?
Yeah.
What card?
I do.
Well, cancel that card.
Well, ultimately, Friday I had to.
Okay.
So I called,
But everything else is connected to that card probably.
Yeah. So I filed like a fraud resolution dispute, whatever, about a month ago. I'm like, I called the Wall Street Journal. They say you don't have a card on file. And so I call Wells Fargo, and they're like, well, we're going to do an investigation, which I'm sure they got their best people on it. And they credited me like 5 charges of $40. And then a week later, they said, actually, we've determined these are your fault. They send you a letter. The money comes back out of your account. And I'm like, fine, whatever, F it. But then the next day, I got charged again. So I'm like, obviously, there's something going on here that I can't control. So I called Friday, and I'm like, they're escalating this. That's when they're like, hey, I can't handle this. I got to call in the top dog. Mm-hmm. So I get to this guy. Again, it's Friday afternoon. He's probably beaten. I'm beaten. I'm explaining all this to him. And I had this thing happen where you're on the phone with a customer service person almost certainly needs to not be an Indian. Because an Indian is primarily trying to get you through the transaction, which I actually appreciate. Not a lot of filler. This is an older white gentleman. He had time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kind of started, leveling with me a little bit. He's like, I got to tell you, I feel like you have to cancel this card. And I'm like, no. Now I'm playing into it. He's like, I know this sucks. He's like, it's gonna. You got a ton of stuff tied to it. Now you're gonna have to change it all because these hucksters somehow they're having a great time. They're just living. That's actually what he said. Somebody's having a great time on your card, and I jokingly said, yeah, reading all the latest financial news. And he's like, if they can even read it.
Hell yeah.
And that felt like he was saying you're getting ripped off by a person who's too dumb to read the Wall Street Journal. And I say that because he made a couple of other comments that felt like social commentary.
Okay.
Like he said something to the effect of, at one point he was like, I'm going to look into something if you're willing to go this route.
Ooh.
I'm like, what is this a special ops mission? Or?
Yeah, like, I'm going to have to call you back on a different line. And
yeah, and he said, and because I wrote some stuff down. He's like, I know that when you think about replacing this card, you're thinking like, how do I live? I got to use this card everywhere. And I'm like, I have not been thinking that at all. And he's like, I know how troubling this must be for you. And in my head, I'm like, I meant to do this a week ago, and now it's like, yeah. And then he just again he was sort of just talking about society at large, where I was like, yeah, it sucks, but he's like, these guys will do anything. He's like, they're so advanced now. He's like, it's insane the level they'll go to try to rip people off. And I don't know if this was a hat tip to the change in the administration or what, but he's like, next week, he's like, we're going to be trying some new stuff. I'm like, damn, like, I've heard about some of the stuff, like Mexicans and stuff I haven't heard about. This card thing, but I just started leveling. I was like, I know, it's crazy. Every time he'd say something, I'm like, I can't.
So how long are you on the phone with this
25 minutes. And by probably minute 6 is when the personal relationship starts.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't believe it either. And I swear to you, the moment that I just like stopped and was like, I can't take this because I was laughing at myself, he's like, you're probably out the $160, $200. He's like, we just got to stop this from going forward. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, that's a lot of money to me. I was like, guys like us, a couple hardworking guys.
Just
he's like, oh, I know
collar
it.
Dudes.
I know it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
$200 might not be a lot to everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, I guess there goes dinner. But I don't know. Have you ever, I guess, sometimes I just think it's like turning into your dad. Everything my dad did my whole life, he was just trying to entertain himself. Whether we were at a restaurant, a drive-through, a driving range. And I realized, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm quiet guy. And instead, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it should be 16 teams to this, like, complete stranger.
You're becoming dad. My daughter is a cashier at a grocery store.
Receptionist.
A receptionist at a grocery store. And she, she has regulars, old dudes that just want to come in and talk. Like, they're buying very minimal stuff, and they come in almost every day because they could come in Monday and buy their stuff for the whole week.
Yeah, but they need to get out of the house every day.
Yeah, they get out of the house.
I got a little
have a
of that
conversation.
myself. Yeah, it's a little quest.
There's a line behind them. They don't care. They're here. This is their time. It's better, I guess, than going to a bar and getting drunk in the middle of the day on a Monday. But
my grandpa used to go to a place called the Beehive, drink black coffee, and smoke cigarettes just to get out of the house.
Have you guys ever encountered the guy at the gas station? I had one like this at one of the ones that I used to go to a lot more. I think he kind of just hired himself. Like, he was an old dude, and he definitely didn't work there. But, like, he would walk around the store. They didn't seem to mind.
Straighten up.
Just kind of straighten up. Like, he'd occasionally have a broom out front. He appeared to either be formerly a cop or the military. I don't know. He was always talking to the cops that were there. But he just kind of hung out. And I'm like, I don't know, but I don't want to run crossways with this guy. Like, he seems like he's in charge.
How'd the date end? Did you guys leave on good terms?
Dude, he gave me the most heartfelt, like, good week. Hope you have a good weekend. I've never. And you know what? I did.
You returned
and
volley?
multiple times.
Dude, I hope you do too.
He's like, I sincerely hope.
Hope you get a little time off.
At this point, he knows about the kids.
Yeah,
he's like, enjoy the time with the family, man.
Yeah, you know.
And I was like, dude, Terrence, you too.
Look, I got this tie. I think she's going to love it tomorrow.
She will, dude. You look great. And I thought about it multiple times, like on Saturday and Sunday. I was like, this weekend rocks.
Maybe this is your new thing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
So my
and
weekend
yesterday, yeah.
Besides football, we'll do that in football talk. We had a shared experience yesterday. But I want to tell you guys about to illustrate my story. I have to tell you about Dave Righetti.
The baseball player?
Blake, have you ever heard of Dave Righetti?
I don't think so.
Okay, he was a Yankees pitcher.
Okay.
Scum.
Career ended in 1995, so there was a chance you would have heard of him. But he had a 16-year career. And because he was with the Yankees, it was very well publicized, you know. But he was a rookie in 1981. And was pretty good. Led the league in, lowest hits per nine. FIP, ERA plus, before anybody knew what those things were. He was leading the league in them.
Wow.
But apparently, strikeouts per nine, too. That's a big thing for Bill James and the young pitcher. If a young pitcher doesn't at least rank in the average of strikeouts per nine, he does not view a long career ahead for them. But Dave Righetti led baseball in strikeouts per nine in his rookie year. And he won Rookie of the Year. So the eye test did pass as well. You didn't need FIP and all this stuff. You knew Dave Righetti, best rookie this year. The next year, again, led baseball in strikeouts per nine. The Yankees weren't a great team. He was only 11-10. But 3.7 ERA. Again, a lot of the numbers were good. He's Dave Righetti.
Come on, yeah.
183 innings pitched. The following year, again, a great year. ERA goes down. He goes 14-8. Again, this is for a Yankees team that's not great. 3.4 ERA. 217 innings pitched. Led the league in FIP once again. He's right up there in strikeouts per nine, but didn't lead. The point is, we got a really good pitcher on our hands. He's in his prime. He's 23 years old, 24 years old, eating you 200 innings a year. But around this time in the middle of the 80s is when people started getting really horny about saves. Dan Quisenberry was a famous submarine pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, and they would have the Rolaids Relief Man of the Year and the Fireman of the... Like, that was a big deal, getting saves. I don't remember exactly when Eckersley burst on the scene, but this might be around that time as well.
Yeah.
So everybody needed a closer. I need my closer. I need a guy that can pitch. That's the most important inning in baseball. And so the Yankees have this, in his prime, stud, young starting pitcher who could eat you 200 innings a year, and they announced in the offseason, we're going to convert him to a closer. And so what... And you can't even fathom this in this day and age.
No.
That would be so insane. Wait, you're going to take this guy who could eat all these innings, who could do this on a regular basis. He can get through the order 3 times. No problem. He's not a guy that needs, Eckersley famously was at the end of his career. He was a starter who was a really good starter, but then was losing his stuff. But he could still get through the order once. So it was like, wait, what if we make him a closer and that's all he has to do is get through a couple of guys? And he was great.
Yeah, Eckersley was 32 when he became a closer.
Jose Mesa was another example of that. A pretty good starter, but the Indians said, what if we make you into a closer? Because you just lose effectiveness. That's the way to use. Anyway, not a stud at the peak of his powers. Dave Righetti. So really, you're just seeing this guy who can do this one thing, but you're using him to do this other thing at a much less thing.
I'm very excited about where this is headed, by the way, Blake.
I say all this just to tell you.
What did they try to make Xander stock groceries?
I went to the grocery store and Xander was bagging groceries.
Great call.
Xander, as you know,
hell yeah,
is the world's greatest grocery store receptionist. He's unbelievable. I told you about him before.
Yeah.
It was so impressive that he's scanning, putting in a bag as he scans. He's setting them in the correct place. Like, it's so quick. You could be in a line 7 deep, and you're going to get checked out before somebody next to you in a line 3 deep.
You have to look at the line and weigh the Xander effect.
The Xander effect is real.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you got to look at a couple of cars you might want to get behind. You're going to get behind this old beater with an old lady driving it, or are you going to get behind Blake? You're going to get behind Blake because you're going to get moving. Anyway, I did go through the line just to interact with Xander. He's as good of a bagger. I mean, it's kind of like LeBron is as good of a passer as he is a
the best 5 and the best one.
What if they made LeBron just a center, a post-up center, and said, "No, don't bring the ball up the floor and pat."
They did for like a year, and he was the best center to ever do it. So yeah, it's really just on management to put them, where they have the most value.
Right. So Dave Righetti wasted.
This is like,
as a
who
closer,
was in charge
Xander,
of this Central Market? Was it
just bagging?
Mac Brown trying to make RG3 and Johnny Manziel a safety?
No, he's Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, clearly it's somebody trying to hold him down.
Yeah,
they see what he's doing. Maybe it's I don't know. There's some that are crying racism. I'm not one of those.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he let the white lady do the checkout,
but no, there's something to what you're saying. Like a coach who thinks like this kid thinks he's the team. Well, we're not giving him any carries today. We'll see how he likes blocking.
Yeah.
Just check the ego a little bit, X-Man.
And the other thing about the weekend, it's really freezing, and I had a constant fire, and I can't wait. When today's show ends, I'm going to start a fire in the fireplace.
Nice.
This is like ultimate thing nobody wants to hear me complain about because our house is very nice now. But I'm kind of a caveman in that while it's awesome because it makes my wife happy that the house looks nice, all I really care about is that shit works. Like last time we remodeled our bathroom, the toilet didn't really work properly. I'm like, what are we doing here?
We just spent all this money.
One of those things, I'm not a huge fan of the dishwasher.
The new dishwasher?
Yeah. I don't know how you test drive that beforehand. She said it was an expensive one that they recommended. And
That's
I'm
the thing, dude.
But I also think maybe as long with us being like, ooh, the environment, I think we've cucked a lot of our appliances.
We really have.
Because it doesn't work. And I'm dish guy.
I don't know that Trump's right about dripping, shower heads or whatever.
Yeah. He may be onto something, though.
But, yes, the energy efficient, you know what? Give me the hot coils.
Yeah.
Remember when you would drop a plastic cup down there and it would melt and you couldn't use it anymore?
Got me.
I want the hot coils. I don't want this drip dry crap. I want to use lots of water.
Mm-hmm.
I want my washing machine full of water and just mix it around in the water, not it's just going to spin. A little
couple people lose a finger in this process, like they do with mine and diamonds. Just don't tell me about it. I don't care. I want it clean. That's not great. And then the other one is are you guys aware you have to get a heat balance done in your house?
For Community Mechanical might be able to help you with that.
Oh.
But I am not
Mechanical
aware of it.
will likely be helping me with that when they come out to do their full check.
So what does that mean?
It means that my wife's office, if you put the temp on 73, is 90.
Yeah.
And our bedroom is 50.
Yeah.
And they've been messing with it for a month, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I got people coming out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, should my hands be going numb?
Yeah.
In my own home? Seems weird. I just want stuff to work.
How's the Jake office?
Not completed at all.
Okay, nothing?
No. I mean, it's there, but it's not ready to be furnished yet.
Okay.
There's so much BS. It's not even funny. It's too cold to pour concrete, and it's snowing, and they're out of town for the New Year's Day, and I get that Chinese people have their own New Year, but I don't want to hear that when it comes to people in the Western Hemisphere. I don't want to hear they took 2 weeks off for the New Year's. I'm sorry. Yes, I get it. You went to see your family in another country, but the Chinese are the only ones who had this built in, I feel like. And they do. That used to be a big deal in my mom's business.
What, the Chinese New Year?
Yeah. She'd get so pissed off. I'm like, it's kind of genius on their part.
Because they get our New Year, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, China, man. They know everything.
Except how to keep TikTok running.
It's back.
For now.
Yeah, like, how about it wasn't gone?
It was gone.
Like, for what, a minute?
Like a couple hours or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's, I mean, yeah.
All these stories that are...
I really wanted to hear from the twins on that.
The Winklevoss twins?
Your twins.
The Cavender twins? Oh.
The Roast twins.
The Roast twins.
How many more?
Abby and Brittany
How many
aren't
more
really
twins can I name?
Yeah.
Bud Light.
Are Aang and Chang Bunker twins?
I think so.
Yeah.
They're Siamese twins. They're called Siamese twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
It's okay.
The Morris twins.
I really just wanted to know if they like, oh, TikTok's so old anyways. And I feel like in my head they're kind of boxed in here.
Does Matt Stafford have a twin?
No, he has a best friend named Clayton Kershaw.
I seriously thought I saw something this weekend that Matt Stafford has a twin.
That would suck so bad.
Like, how would I have never heard of that before? Perhaps because we're just so focused on Clayton Kershaw?
Maybe.
Anyways, TikTok. Still possibly going away.
You want to hear from the big man?
Yeah, because the president of TikTok is at the inauguration.
Are we doing this now? Is this live?
Sure.
Which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States.
Whoa.
The United States, think of this, spent more money than
I thought this
ever
is the
spent
inauguration.
on a
You're supposed
project
to
before and lost
Like say thanks.
38,000 lives.
Thanks, everything's going to be good.
In the building of the Panama Canal.
But he's got his set.
We have been treated very badly.
So he's been
from
working
this
on this
foolish
set
gift that should
in
have
different
never
clubs
been made. And Panama's
for like a
promise
year,
to
and
us
now it's ready for
has been
HBO.
broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged
Boring.
and not treated fairly in any way,
Boring,
shape,
boring,
or
boring.
form. And that includes
What do you think
the
of
United
Trump's
States
teeth?
Navy.
They gotta
And
be
above
fake,
all,
right?
China
Oh, definitely.
is operating the Panama Canal,
you love 'em?
and we didn't give it to China. We gave
yeah,
it to
I mean,
Panama,
I'm
and
not
we're
against
taking
it.
it back.
He looks good. God, JD Vance is such a pussy. I'm sorry. Why are they just showing this random guy in a Patriots hoodie?
He's a Patriot.
Oh, okay. That's lame.
Above all, my message to Americans today
All right,
is
I don't
that
care about
it
this.
is time for us to once again
Let's hear our
act with
message.
courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. So as we liberate
He's
our
too on
nation, we
script.
will lead it to new heights of victory and success.
Yeah, he started going off with the
We
Panama.
will not
Yeah,
be
yeah.
deterred. Together we will end the chronic disease epidemic
All right.
and keep our
Bring up,
children
Hulk
safe,
Hogan.
healthy, and disease-free.
I wouldn't be shocked. I want to know what happens throughout the day for sure. It's a new day, fellas.
You have a weekend check for us, Blake?
Yeah, so last weekend, the Shalom Softball League had their draft. And I was drafted to the Cardinals. So
What-
this year I will
1-1?
be a Cardinal. I was 115.
Okay. First round, still get the bigger
There are
contract.
14 guys better than Blake in this league.
About to pull an Amon Ra.
That's got to hurt.
I want you to do an Amon Ra.
Are you humbled?
I'm thinking about
Yeah,
it.
name
memorize all
each one of them.
14.
I'm thinking about it because now, as I'm getting older, I'm trying to not care as much about being competitive and all that kind of stuff. But then I realized that I kind of I need to go back to that.
You need it. I'm
And
telling you.
and we started doing reads for BetterHelp, and one of their things is like adults need hobbies. They need something to chase. And here in the past few weeks, like I've realized, like I need something like that. So I think I will keep a list of 14 names and see if we can't have a better season than those guys.
Dude, I love this. Ops plus, something like that.
Did they post the stats online?
Of course they do. I was reading them every Monday for like a year.
Yeah. No, I mean there's probably, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 guys that are better than me. But yeah, seeing 115, like, okay.
Now,
Maybe
is
this
a
is what I
bigger
need.
issue, why were you exposed to the draft?
It resets every season.
You don't get to like play with your buddies?
You can tie yourself to family members, and so
Jeez.
like whoever took me has to take my dad in his round.
In his round, they have like an old guy round?
Well, everyone is rated 1 through 12.
This is for real? Your dad plays?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
why I play in this league.
Okay.
So everyone, I mean, they try to rate like 20 guys per each round, and that just kind of helps it helps parity.
Of
You know,
course.
we're trying to strive for parity. And so
They do have like 20 teams, Dan.
yeah, it's a big league. And so yesterday they held we met at the batting cages, and this was something that I would have blown off probably even last year, 2 years ago. But I thought,
Open workout?
voluntary? What do voluntary mean? And so I thought, no, I'm gonna get back into it. I don't know. I'm gonna care. I'm gonna be a little more competitive.
So you go to
show
a
up for my
slow
team.
pitch softball batting cage.
Yeah.
That seems really old man of man. You are transitioning. Here you are.
Yeah.
I know.
Way to go. You've become an old man.
I know it pains me in some way because
Did you guys all talk about how it's great that Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley are like
Nobody had any energy left because they had just been climaxing all day watching running football.
Yeah, isn't this great, man?
Yeah, we just said, it's good to watch football be played in the elements.
Oh, my gosh,
dude,
for sure.
Snow plus all the inside zone, all the guard tackle counters. Yeah. Big weekend for you guys.
A lot of flip the field talk. I don't think
my.
you should go for it on 4th and short at the 40.
Yeah, we were discussing how, the Chiefs' offense is great, their defense is really improved, but really they turned the corner when they got the punt god.
Yeah.
Because they're just constantly backing teams up into their own territory. It's amazing. So, I have made fun of the person I am now a lot. And I hate who I'm becoming in a way, but I just need it. I need something to get up for. And so yesterday in the cage, I'm putting my phone on the ground, putting it in slow-mo, watching my swing, trying to figure out, okay, look, my hands are a little late here. I need to whatever. And so, but
if I wear a tank top,
yeah, but I'm not posting this video online. I'm not doing this for other people. I'm just trying to improve myself. And that was the thing that when I was playing, we didn't have. Like, I never saw me shoot a jump shot or hit a baseball or anything. Well, but I'm saying now this technology is pretty awesome.
It's very helpful.
If you want to actually improve and get better.
Yeah. It's very helpful.
Yeah. So, expect big things from the Cardinals this season.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm putting my damn mind to it. The other thing I have is
14 teams are going to be so upset.
Oh, my gosh.
Just wait.
That they passed on this guy.
Just wait.
They didn't know how this would motivate him.
Okay, Archie's Cubs. We'll see how this works for you in the end. Ruckles Brewers.
Yeah. So this next thing I have will make me not only dumb, but also racist.
Yeah. All right.
If we want to play Is It Racist?
Now you'll fit in with us, finally.
So, and I feel like this just kind of leans into my established run phase I'm now in. But I like...
Don't go too far, bud.
I like when restaurants hire employees that fit the theme of the restaurant. What I mean by that is the Hawaiian Bros next to my house only hires islanders, and I love it.
Okay.
When I walk in and they say aloha...
You don't want a white guy
That's what I'm saying.
at your Chinese restaurant.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've heard from, Asian guy who said, he grew up here, and he works at a, what do you call the ones with the...
Hibachi?
Yeah, the hibachi.
Right.
And he does fake accent. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's very interesting. You can get away with that?
Apparently so. If you're Asian yourself, you can get away with it.
Oh, I thought you meant he was a white guy.
No. He was Asian guy.
I think we've talked about
He
this
grew up
before.
here.
Yeah.
He's from here, whatever. He's a Texan.
Yeah, sure.
But he plays it up and pretends that he doesn't really know the whole language and everything. And
I want a white guy to do it.
Says he
No,
gets
you
good
don't.
tips.
To try the accent.
Oh, okay.
Like what? I was bored. Like two kids who grew up together.
And then you do the. If you're the chef, you get to do the Tiger Woods.
Yes.
Yeah. Coca-Cola.
No, I mean it's a story as old as time. Like you don't want if you want good food, and I would even go so far as to say, if you want good food from the whites, I would prefer poor whites. It's just the reality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, generally, that's why and another way to do it too is there's a dumpling place in South Lake, and to me it's amazing, but I'm like, I wonder if this is just like really good white people dumplings. But then when I go there to pick up my food, it's like 60% Chinese people in
Is
there.
that Dragon House?
Yeah.
The former owners had like a brothel running out of there or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fortune House. They cleaned that up. And
They call it Fortune House now?
They used to call it Fortune House, I'm pretty sure. Then
Oh.
they got raided, which was unfortunate for all the women involved in the scandal, but super unfortunate for the the shrimp dumplings. But it's like almost all Chinese people when you eat there.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
a good
like, all
sign.
right, straight.
Oh, they're eating.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's
another level.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me dumb, is I like seeing the Asian guy at the Asian restaurant.
That's not dumb.
Whatever.
That's just learned experience. Along those same lines, I have one other one from the file of, my house, guys working on my house. What about if you're doing, so I've said before, like if I'm just sitting there on my computer and they're coming in, that's not good. Last week I was stretching, and they were outside in the snow, just kind of looking at the pool area, and I was like, God, I have like a yoga mat out. So those are bad. What if I'm doing work in the house, but it's like dishes? Like they were in the kitchen Friday doing some touch-ups on like the crown molding, and I was washing dishes. My guess, in their culture, thought to be a female job.
Yeah. No, that's not man's work.
Not really sure the last time I saw a Latino male doing dishes ever. Now that I think about it. Or, perhaps in a professional setting. But like they were drilling, and I was like, I'm going to let that one soak a little more. So, which is like, would they rather me just sit there?
Yeah, you kind of got to just get out of there.
Why don't I just put a little gown on or a little
You got to walk around
apron?
and pretend you're doing something different, yeah.
Just carry a kettlebell around.
Right.
Maybe get on the phone
Do curls.
as if you're,
trading,
making deals or something.
Yeah, sell it.
I thought of you yesterday because I was in my gas station getting my free coffee of the day. This guy was on the phone saying he was bitching that his contractor does nothing but sit on his ass all day.
Always on the phone.
Yeah. Oh, that might be Jake's guy. No, but so the theme restaurants, that's what makes me dumb. Here's what makes me racist. So I walk into Payway because I had to buy one, get one. Walk up to the guy. It's a nice Chinese man. I'm thinking, love it. I'm going to love my experience here.
Payway.
The whitest Chinese restaurant ever.
Again, I had a BOGO.
It's not like Hawaiian Bros, but anyway.
No, you're right. No, I'm very commercialized here. Walk up to the guy, and I was really thrown off because he had a Bob Sturm level deep voice. And I don't know
But Chinese accent?
if that chick. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Chinese accent, but a really deep voice.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm familiar with that.
And it really threw me off. Said name for the order. Blake. Like it just took me a second. Like that was not what I was expecting.
Here, pull my audio up real quick and see what this sounds like. This is from TikTok. Is it still active? Okay, I thought it'd be in Chinese. That's a Chinese guy singing in a deep voice. Do like because I'm trying to find a way to like, what does it sound like? So you can go ahead and.
I just don't have a deep voice. Is the thing.
You can't pretend.
No.
Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods.
Name for the order.
Blake.
I don't know that I've
Hoya.
noticed like a higher pitched
Hoya.
voice from Asian males. Really, maybe kind of soft spoken, but
Yeah, but I don't know. I was trying to rack my brain. I just don't really remember a deep voice Asian guy.
okay.
Would you still be able to make love to your wife if she had a deep Asian voice? Deep Asian accent. But
Yeah.
she looks like she looks now.
I think
She's
I could
the
rally.
whitest person you've ever seen.
For sure.
Okay.
You think she's making a lot of noise while we're doing it?
Yeah, when is this going to be a concern?
She's got this
Pretty quiet.
pillow stuffed in her mouth.
Noises. Yeah, boy, calm down over there.
As I recall, she in the past has ripped a
That is
nipple
true.
ring out of you because she was so into it.
Yeah.
That is true.
Like, sounds like she's kind of crazy.
Well, that was the Blake that slipped to 15th in the first round. Maybe I need to get back to those days.
Yeah.
I like this.
Maybe I need some of that purple drink that Ja Rule was pushing.
I still have mine. It was Cameron.
Cameron.
It's like called Pink Tiger or something. I
Yeah.
keep staring at it like every weekend. I'm like, man, I'm gonna bone so hard this weekend, and I leave it there. You know what? This is when you know you're an old man, Dan. Somebody bought us that stuff after Cameron drank it on Fox News. It's like his own sex potion, and I'm worried about my heart. I look at it and I'm like, this
Come
could
on.
legit
Yeah, you're looking at
kill me.
ingredients.
You're all healthy. You're all healthy now. You can do it.
Yeah,
Used to be your pound in anything.
no doubt.
Hey, let's bring Landry on. Let's do some NFL talk.
We never talked about our weekend. Let's do that on the second half. Or I guess he can be a part of it.
Landry, you ever had a
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
drink?
No, let's bring Landry on. It's going to be brought to us by Elite Rides DFW. Landry.
Ooh.
Landry Locker is in Houston. I bet we can get Elite Rides to take us to Houston.
They absolutely would.
Yeah.
They got an app now.
Tell me.
They have an app. Book your next ride on their mobile app. That's, of course, available App Store, Google Play. Gives you instant access to transportation at your fingertips. AI booking. I think it's AI, not Al booking here on the
You don't
copy.
call Al. They have a guy named Al
Yeah.
who books for them.
And he get you an
AI
instant
is
quote.
weird.
Yeah.
I think it's just because the capital I is written as just a line.
It needs to be with
It
lines
needs to
at
have the
top.
little thing at the
Yeah.
top and the bottom, and then we would say that's AI. But yes, it looks like Al booking.
Yeah, so this Al-powered booking tool, you'll get instant quotes, schedule a ride. Elite Rides is awesome. We've taken it several times. If you're going to a game, if you're going to a concert, you're going out for a night out of town, it's legit. So check them out. Either 844-RIDE-DFW or the app. Use promo code DZ15 for 15% off your first ride. They got the Tesla. They got the big, what do they call it, Sprinter van. They got the SUV. Check them out. Elite Rides DFW.
Good
Hey,
for
Landry.
going to games and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're muted. He's muted. He's muted. He's muted. He's muted. He's muted. That's probably on our end.
No, it is.
That's okay. That's okay. What a football weekend, Dan.
What a football weekend. Keep. Well, actually, I was hearing some sound when he first popped on,
Yeah, we'll work through it.
and now we're hearing nothing.
What a football weekend that culminates with the betting markets placing none other than Brian Schottenheimer.
Dude, what the hell's going on here?
Atop the Cowboys coaching odds. His dad was great. Jerry knew his dad really, really well. What's going on?
I'm just interested if we're ever going to get Landry up. Like, should we pause here?
Well, how about I just keep you and I can kind of talk
Oh, okay.
and we'll figure it out.
No, I don't understand this at all. But I am hearing or reading, people with cowboy ties are like, "Hey, I'm hearing a buzz from the Star about Brian Schottenheimer. The buzz is growing louder."
Incredible.
And I haven't really taken it seriously until this morning because the betting markets, because they seem to know what they're doing.
Yeah, now, of course, early, Dion was the favorite, so perhaps they're just following the news of what they heard. I mean, think about it. We heard that McCarthy was going to be back.
So, yeah, the Dion thing, they would have to pay him an $8 million buyout. And the Belichick thing, a $10 million buyout. Belichick's probably less of a chance just because do you think he'd want to accept that job and then not even take it? Maybe, since he's so old and this would be his last job no matter what. But I also don't think, based on the Cowboys' actions, I don't think they want to pay a buyout.
It's crazy.
They don't seem to want to pay two coaches at the same time, ever.
It's very unfortunate, this ruse, this house of cards of being a Cowboys fan, because you're led to believe, like, oh, It's Forbes' #1 team. Money's not an object outside of the salary cap. They literally do nothing like that. Nothing. There's nothing they do, whether it's paying coaches, whether it's paying buyouts, whether it's moving on from McCarthy last year, which if they were going to do it, they should have done because then they would have had to pay him. It's crazy. Like, at least the Raiders do it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the Raiders are failed, but they got a lot of money. They're worth a whole lot, and they throw it around.
The Eagles do.
The Eagles do,
and they're not
they
failed.
do it somewhat wide. Yeah, for sure. I just mean the Raiders are like, F it, we made a mistake, try again. We'll pay somebody again. Whereas the Cowboys rode McCarthy until the end of his contract, even though they knew they needed to fire him, and now they're not even in the buyout game. If anybody should be, it should be them. They should have any coach they want anytime.
Yeah, same thing with Garrett.
Oh, yeah. And now here we are looking at the Chan Gailey redux of Brian Schottenheimer.
I would say even less than Chan Gailey. Chan Gailey was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, who were a pretty good team.
Yeah, you'll have to Campo, I don't know. I mean, I know he was a DB coach.
Yeah.
Brian Schottenheimer's never been a successful coordinator. Like, ever. And he's 51 and he's never been a head coach. There's probably a reason. So I can't imagine that this is like the best they can do, but maybe it's the easiest, most controllable thing they can do. And maybe this is within the model of that's how they get Witten in the door. Brian Schottenheimer's been around the game, and now it's just Brian Schottenheimer is your head coach, offensive coordinator, and Jason Garrett is your assistant head coach, which is awesome because I'm sure Brian Schottenheimer at 51 is real thrilled about having Jason Witten stare over his shoulder. You know.
So you think that's a big deal, is getting Witten in here?
I think they keep mentioning
whoever is going to be head coach has to know Witten is a big part of things. So let's start there. If you have some kind of problem with that, then we're done talking.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of other people who would love to talk to us. Starting with this guy right here. All right, Landry's audio's up and flying.
Gents?
Hey,
man.
what's up? What's up? You against the world. Tough weekend.
No. It wouldn't. They didn't have a chance. I mean, let's be honest. You can't score 12 points and win. There was a lot of tough stuff that went on, but you can't score 12 points and win a ball game. So they got what they deserved. Kind of looked like we thought it would look like a Texans loss. The offense coming up short, but you can't score 12 and win any games. So they got what they deserved.
Yeah, I was doing I think I got to stop just looking at Twitter.
Oh, no.
Only because I get sucked in by headlines and things, and I saw a headline that said, wow, D'Amico Ryans on the refs. We knew it was us versus everybody. I mean everybody. And it's in all caps, and it says, wow. And then Ralph Strangis tags that.
Ralph will tweet on you.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, good assessment from a guy whose team scored 12 points, gave up 8 sacks, rushed the most important play of the game, failed to challenge a spot that would have kept the drive going, missed a field goal, a PAT, and then had one blocked to seal it at Arrowhead. And so I went back just to hear how D'Amico Ryans was ripping the refs, and this was the audio.
Okay, we knew going into this game, man, it was us versus everybody. Right? When I say everybody, it's everybody, all of whatever. Everybody, the naysayers, the doubt, right? Everybody we had to go against today. And, you know, going into this game, what we were up against, we can't make the mistakes that we made, right? We had a lot of self-inflicted mistakes that happened, whether it's special teams, not converting our kicks, defensively, not being where we're supposed to be in coverage, all offensively, not protecting our quarterback and keeping him clean. So, you know, you marry that on top of everything else that we have to deal with. It's going to be a really tough uphill battle.
I didn't see a guy there complaining about the refs.
And he wasn't, but I mean, Mixon had a comment about it, and Will Anderson, and I mean, you know what it is going in against the Chiefs, but he wasn't doing that. I'm surprised by Ralph getting so passionate about it, because the missed challenge spot, they actually extended that drive anyways and ended up scoring. It was probably their best drive of the season before the missed extra point. But yeah, I mean, the refs didn't help, but they ended up losing the game. But D'Amico, the last thing that he did and the last thing that he would do is go up there and blame the refs. That is kind of headline porn, and good on you, Dan, for for listening to the whole quote, because that's not really what he's about.
I listened to his whole post game press conference, and it was all pointing at us. We could do better. We can do things differently. And I'm not bagging on Ralph. I just am pointing out that I think Ralph read the tweet like I did and got worked up like I did. Like, hey, man, yeah, that's right. How is he just bagging on the refs? And then you go back and listen, and that's why I say I shouldn't even look at Twitter. But we've done this 100 times.
How would you know?
You see one little clip or you see one headline taken out of context, and you totally misinterpret it.
The craziest thing, though, and I think y'all can relate to this more than anyone because y'all go back and like listen to audio and like maximize it. But the craziest thing is usually when you do that, like it's like, well, the quote wasn't as bad as they said. Like there's a little more context there. But when you do it with Jerry, it's like, damn, that was even worse than it was. It looked terrible.
That's very true. That's very true.
Texans. First team to outgain an opponent by 100 yards, not turn the ball over, and lose a postseason game. Isn't that odd that that's never happened before? 49-0. Teams were 49-0.
History.
But the Chiefs are a team that just figures out.
Yeah, you know what else they are?
Have to do.
They're boring.
They're
Chiefs? Not fun to watch. I'm a fan. Couple buddies work there. One in front in the communications, the other one on the field.
The quarterback.
I've always loved watching them. Everybody has, unless they're beating your team. But they're just boring. There's a boring ass team. Like, what do they have? Xavier Worthy's the only wide receiver who catches anything.
Yeah, Hollywood dropped one, and he hasn't really been a part of things.
Yeah, like Worthy was coming on over the last month a little bit, and Kansas City's pass rush is exciting, but offensively, they are just a boring team.
I feel like Buffalo's going to beat their ass this week. Like I feel like this is the time. I think this is going to be Josh Allen's coming out party. I think this, like, I saw the line in Kansas City's favor by 2. I'm probably going to stupidly just hammer the hell out of that, and it's going to end up going like Kansas City games do, where someone misses an extra point or Mahomes finds a way to flip the switch. But I just feel like Buffalo's gonna beat them pretty badly this Sunday. Maybe those are famous last words. I'm just kind of feeling it.
Yeah, I felt like Baltimore would have too. You know, I mean, not to get into that game yet, but like Jackson had a couple of bad plays, but overall, down and down out, he was awesome. And those are the two best quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, in the playoffs. I mean, Mahomes, they're not asking him to do a ton, but it's just boring. They're a boring team, and now everybody's tired of watching them, and they're boring.
What about the refs?
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans isn't talking about it, but
yeah, it was awful.
Troy Aikman was.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it was pretty bad. That roughing the passer was rough, and then Mahomes is just kind of manipulating rules now, where on one hand you say, okay, well, he's just doing James Harden stuff where you're manipulating the rules and Chris Paul type of stuff, but on the other hand, it's like, does he really have to do that? It's kind of weird. I didn't want to get into, like, I kind of tried to minimize that they'd never lost with that officiating crew, because I'm sure that their record, if you put any officiating crew out there, is pretty good.
Yeah, it
is. Like Mahomes, I'm assuming it's like great. So I tried not to make too much of that. And I don't think they would have lost. I've watched them play games like maybe against Cincinnati and maybe Buffalo, where I'm like, all right, if the refs hadn't made those calls, then the other team would have won. I don't think the Texans were one of those squads. I do think you were also vindicated this weekend, Jake. One of the final plays. Not everyone can catch the ball and fall down. Mark Andrews, he vindicated Jake's Patrick Mahomes catch right there. I was thinking about you on that.
Thank you. Mine, 2 points. We're tying the game up. Yeah, that was tough, especially with the fumble earlier from Andrews. But yeah, to go back to the Patrick thing. Do you want to play Aikman? I thought it was funny. I got it here.
Okay.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 39.
Come on. I mean, just right there, you know. And
is that the one where he's scrambling a little bit, but then slid really late?
Yeah, this is the one where the two Texans defenders collided.
Yeah,
so this
they collided kind of over him.
Yeah, because the first one is a straight up, the one that extended a 3 and out on the second possession. That's a straight up, he got hit in the head, and it's a judgment call. But he did get hit.
Yeah.
This one, they barely grazed him, but
personal foul,
and he slid so
unnecessary roughness, defense number 39.
Come on.
15-yard penalty.
Here's the end of it. Yeah, I mean, he's a runner, and I could not disagree with that one more. And he barely gets hit. That's the second penalty now that's been called against the Texans.
And Troy, I agree with you. There's no forcible contact to the head neck area of him. The two Houston players hit each other. That should not have been a foul.
And if they've got to address it in the offseason. You can't, as a quarterback, run around and play games with defenders and then be able to draw a penalty.
So one of the things he mentions there is, like, go back and take a look at it. I watched Walt Anderson. You guys remember him?
Yeah.
He was on NFL Network yesterday morning, and surprise, he says those are both the right call. He said that on the first one, that where he actually did get hit in the head, face up, that they can't use replay on that if he gets hit. If they throw a flag and he did get forcible contact to the head, they can't wave it off.
Okay.
They could add it. Like, I guess they could, after the play, say, like, oh. Or I guess what could happen is you throw it and then there's actually not contact. But if there's any contact at all, it's no longer a judgment call.
Okay.
On the second one, where you could argue whether or not there was contact, it kind of looks like one of the Texans players, like, grazed his head. Walt Anderson said that in every other instance in the rule book, the officials are told err on the side of not throwing a flag. That the rule book is written to not throw flags, except for in the case of roughing the passer or unnecessary roughness, where they are told to err.
But he wasn't a passer then. That's the thing.
That one might have been talking unnecessary roughness. I can't remember, but yeah.
They don't do that, though. Like, that's the problem, is that they don't do that unless it's Mahomes. Like, it's there's like one-offs where, like, there's crappy pass interference. But yesterday, Lamar Jackson got tackled 5 feet out of bounds, and they didn't call anything. Jared Goff got his block knocked off. Like,
that was tough.
On an interception. Like, either one of those, if they're Mahomes, they're calling it. And the worst thing is he's manipulating the rule. I heard someone in the Texans locker room today. I won't put him out there. But they were basically like, someone needs to Bobby Boucher him from now on. Like, just my mama said, and like knock him on his ass if he's going to be dancing around, like manipulating the rules, and it's going to be a penalty no matter what.
Like, if you're going to get the 15 yards anyway.
If you're going to get it, you might as well just knock his block off. Like, so if he's going to be like dancing around like that, I do think there's players that are going to try to knock his block off. And the other thing is this with the Texans. They already had the Azeez Al-Shire controversy with Trevor Lawrence, where I thought he deserved the flag, and I thought he actually deserved the suspension for the reaction after. I thought it got a little bit out of control, but they've been talking about how quarterbacks slide in no man's land. So you factor in that happens to you against the Chiefs. I think there's just like an extra amount of frustration with Texans players. But I think Mahomes is going to get to the point, if he keeps doing that, where they're just going to knock your block off.
He didn't help himself at all with he had a flop too. Like, not even on those two.
Going out of bounds.
Yeah, one going out of bounds where they didn't give it to him, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, you can't keep doing this.
And then he had to play the playoffs after, so it was just like, shut up, I'm still the man though.
Yeah. Where else you want to go, Dan?
Well, from this game, Chris Boyd. Tell us about that. The first play of the game, the special teamer who shoves the special teams coach and threw his helmet off and got a 15-yard penalty and on the field. Like, what's that whole situation?
Chris Boyd, by the way, from Gilmer.
Yeah, he is. He's the guy that y'all had on. I love him. He's from Gilmer. He's like basically Chris Boyd's Windhorst whenever he's at Texans games. He's basically like posted up with Chris Boyd no matter what. Chris Boyd's not a smart guy. Like I like him fine, but he's got a screw loose. That's kind of what makes him a special teamer, and good at it. He's the same guy who at UT went in the locker room and tweeted that he wanted to transfer and then ended up staying and never leaving or anything like that. So
stable.
He wasn't mad at the special teams coach. And it wasn't even like an angry shove. I think it's actually dumber than that. And there's no smart result. But what happened was he forced a fumble. And instead of just finishing the play and trying to recover the fumble, he turns his back, and you can watch the play. He's celebrating because he just assumes that they recovered the fumble. And his way of celebrating was, I'm going to throw my helmet, and it would have picked up a 15-yard penalty. And everyone on the sideline is looking at me. He thinks they're looking at him because they're proud of him because he forced a fumble. So Frank Ross is yelling at him, and he thinks he's yelling at him because Frank Ross is like kind of a yeller even when he's excited. There's been like some viral moments. He thinks he's like yelling at him like happy. So he's pushing him like, yeah, we in this thing. And they're like, and you can look at the defensive coordinator right there. He's like, dude, you picked up a penalty. So I don't know that makes it any smarter of a play, but he wasn't pushing Frank Ross because he was yelling at him. He was pushing him because he turned his back on the play, thought they recovered it, celebrated by throwing his helmet, and then pushed his coach. Probably a little too hard of a celebratory push too, for being honest. That was a little too hard, but that was what happened there. He wasn't trying to like fight him or anything like that.
That makes a lot of sense, but you definitely have to see how the play concluded before you celebrate in a situation like that, because the return had already gone for like 60. so like if you just had a tackle there and celebrated, it'd be like, yeah, but you. Now, they did force a 3 and out after that, but, yeah, that was a tough moment. I mean, he was back out there.
Yeah, he was there.
Couple other things. Okay. A couple other things. Kelsey, we talked about playoff Kelsey. Were they saving him for the season, the playoffs? Maybe they are. He had another 100-yard game.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's weird to think you can do. I don't know. It's odd to me to be able to save a player that, like, you play the number of snaps you play. Like with a running back, it's one thing because you're like, oh, we're not giving you the ball, like the Cowboys were saving Zeke. But I don't know. At that point, you're left to just think that it's kind of just how into it are you.
Well, I mean, even Mahomes himself.
Now, the quarterback running thing is a real
quarterback
thing.
running, but I mean, even quarterback passing, his numbers were
pretty
very
average.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd say pedestrian, but they weren't eye-popping this year for sure, unless you look at quarterback wins. And then I know we
Taylor and Caitlin Clark.
Taylor and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, speaking of Travis, yeah, that was great.
That's good fun. Love seeing them become good friends.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that the Kelsey suite had milk for her. For Caitlin Clark.
And we had 8.5.
Ooh.
But
you had 8.5? I had 8.
If it was a 9.5 game, where did the bad beat occur?
The safety.
So the safety. Kansas City's up 23-12. They take a safety with 7 seconds left.
And it was after they blocked a field goal, too, to cover. So it was like, it wasn't even – you felt like you got off the hook because they blocked the field goal, and then they ran back. So depending on what you had it on, that was a toughie.
The safety is just a weird – I don't know. Why don't you just punt there? What's the difference?
I don't know. Maybe Andy Reid had him at the number.
If you are going to take a safety, wouldn't you rather put it in the hands of somebody who kind of handles the ball all the time? And what if that guy ran and then it's all cold and he fumbled?
I just always think, why even have the punter back there? Like, and in that instance, I guess they're trying to get seconds, but why not just have the long snapper snap it out of the end zone? Like, why even put the punter in position to where he's thinking he's going to have to run around and he's catching the ball without punting? I've always wondered why teams don't just snap it out. I guess no time goes off the clock.
Yeah.
But in that situation where it's a 2-possession game, and you're really just trying to punt, it doesn't matter if the Texans take back the next kick, the game's over. Why even have the punter back there?
We can move on to the next game, and let's tell you about Lone Star Beer as we do that. The next game was Saturday night, the Commanders at Lions, Lone Star is the national beer of Texas. Been brewing in Texas for 140 years. I am more of a Lone Star light guy. I'm a blue can guy.
I'm a red can guy.
That's because you are authentically Texan.
Yeah, don't I look it?
Just like Lone Star beer. And even for your buddies that don't drink, why don't they go to LoneStarBeer.com and get some awesome merch if you use the code DUMBZONE21.
That's a quality T-shirt right there.
21% off merchandise. Many beers might give you 20% off.
Come on.
Lone Star Beer is like, wait, hold my beer. Get it?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, thanks.
That's really good.
So LoneStarBeer.com. We love you. We love our partnership with Lone Star Beer. And now we're sad happy. Happy for Dan Quinn. It's a good story. It's a great story.
Happy for Magic Johnson.
Happy for Magic Johnson.
You know, I was reading an article, not to disrupt.
He's what, a 1% owner of the team or something?
He's enough.
Yeah, enough to
be
on hand.
Mike Sando started his article this morning with, like, the last time that the Washington organization made it to the conference championship, you know, and he's setting the scene of what was happening in 1991. And it was about, like, you know, comparing Magic Johnson to Jaden Daniels, Magic Johnson as a rookie. And it's like, yeah, 91, the next season's when Magic came back to play in the All-Star game. And I'm like, that's what happened. You know, I'm like, so basically the story is the Commanders haven't been to the conference championship since the season where Magic Johnson didn't have AIDS. And then
we became accepting enough of his
have AIDS. Let's put the quote marks around have AIDS.
That's true.
Oh, interesting.
Let's put the quote marks around that. Let's be serious.
This is a conspiracy theory for sure.
But he's him and the Commanders have made it. It's so bad for Cowboys fans.
Name an NFC team.
So bad.
Name an NFC team, Blake. Any NFC team.
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals in 2015, they were in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
The Bears?
The Bears in 2010 were in the NFC Championship game.
Cutler got hurt,
Oh,
right?
Cutler.
Seahawks?
The Seahawks were in the NFC Championship game in 2014.
Okay, the Vikings.
We really don't have to do this.
2017. The point is,
Damn.
every NFC team has been to the NFC Championship game more recently than the Cowboys. And the Cowboys have the next team beat by 15 years now.
Tight.
15 years. The Bears in 2010 have the longest drought besides the Cowboys. 1995. We're just saying not even getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so a couple of our quant friends, of course, the biggest one is listener Nick. He used to go by N.
Mm-hmm.
He's math guy, and then another is Jeffrey Jacob. They email us all this stuff, and I email their stuff to each other and let them fight it out.
Oh, nice.
But regardless of whether you go with one of their methods of math or the other, like by pure randomness, there's something like a 99+% chance of randomly being in the NFC Championship over those 30 years. Like, what they're doing is statistically impossible to do.
Especially, I think, with their regular season record.
That one skyrockets it, yeah.
Like
it's
at least the Bears are kind of a bad team all the time, too, and they haven't been since 2010. Or
yeah, like the Lions. Like
Washington.
For that whole run, yeah.
Washington during that whole run, they were kind of a bad team. Cowboys have been like a really good team.
Yeah, it's statistically, you would say like that's beyond an error to be able to pull off not getting in with those records.
So the other thing is that Schottenheimer, like the hire, I know that he's been in AFC Championship teams, but like in my like football watching prime, he was kind of the face of like not getting there. I think they went in 93, and then he had like a 13-3 season in 95. They lost in the first round. 13-3 in 97, lost in the divisional. They had that Chargers team that went 14-2. They lost in the divisional. So it would kind of be ironic if they hired like at least since 95, since the Cowboys have been bad and the drought has begun. a guy who's basically the coaching face of being good enough and then not good enough to get there. It's just like a perfect mix. If you go from like where the drought started to the resume of Marty Schottenheimer and hiring his son,
it would fit perfectly. Okay, you want to be happy or sad? You want to start happy?
Sad.
Oh, you want to start sad? Let's start with Dan Campbell then.
That's a tough one, man. I don't know. It was a weird. I made a late push to the Commanders' money line, just because I don't know. I know the lines are awesome. I know that they're fun. I know they're complete, but it's golf. And Jaden Daniels I think he's one of those dudes.
Would you say it came down to that?
Kinda, yeah.
Because Goff
turned the ball over a ton.
Pick six, interception in the end zone, fumble.
Yeah, whereas Jaden Daniels was just making play after play after play. And then I found myself like I told Dan yesterday, I felt like the Dr. Laura caller, like by the third quarter, and I'm like, I feel bad winning this money. Should I give it away, or what do I do? Give it back to everyone who bet?
Yeah, that's the problem with betting
on something you don't really want to happen.
Yeah, but if it does happen, then I guess I'm financially
and I started
better.
feeling bad. Like, man, I'm thinking about Tim Robinson, and all the Lions fans out there. It sucked.
Eminem's probably mad.
Yeah.
Did you see they had LiAngelo Ball perform his new song after the first quarter?
I saw that he was warming up.
Like
before the game. LiAngelo's a big-time artist now. All three Ball brothers have made it.
It's a big song.
It is.
I
also like it, Landry.
Yeah, I think it's good. I hear worse released, I'll be honest. I thought I reevaluated the Lions' performance because in the moment when they faced Minnesota, I was like, damn, what a gutsy performance. Aaron Glenn, holy crap, he put it together. But then I watched the Vikings play the Rams, and I was like, okay, did I overreact to what that looked like? Like, do I need to look at this a little bit different with Daniels? Because I jumped on Washington after the first quarter too. I had their point total over-under was like 23, and I was like, there might be a little bit of an overreaction to Detroit's defense, especially after you saw what Minnesota was. But I was happy for Washington, but you feel kind of dirty being that way. It's just not really an unlikable team. I can make myself not like the Eagles. I can't make myself dislike this Washington team.
Yeah, it's crazy from a Cowboys perspective. Like the new owner, after who's 1A 1B, Jerry and Dan Snyder for all those years, and finally they get forced out, and immediately the vibes change. The vibes change. You hire a coach that everyone likes. You get a cool coordinator. You crush a draft pick, at least on one-year returns. They bring in the right kind of vets around him, and they're likable. They're very, very likable, and it's hilarious for the Cowboys to be in this situation. Carolina, Denver, New England, only teams that entered with lower Vegas win totals for this season.
Did you think that with Washington, do you think there's kind of been a little of an overreaction there now? Because they're only like a 4-point underdog going to Philly. And I don't know if it's going to snow or not, but do you see Washington winning in the snow against Philly? Like, is that – I don't know who can beat Philly in the snow with the way that they're built right now.
No.
I mean, they didn't totally ignore their running game, though. Brian Robinson's good.
Yeah.
And they added Austin Eckler. They added like a change-up that would really fit, not like Zeke because he could sell jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have an actual running back that they drafted, and then they don't ignore the running back room. They didn't go after Barkley, who is unbelievable, but we'll get to him. No, it's amazing. They do have 10 former Cowboy players or coaches.
That's tough.
On that team.
That's
Jordan Lewis was tweeting about it.
And Dante Fowler out there making plays.
Dante Fowler making plays.
What's going on there?
Did y'all ever talk to Dante? I feel like y'all would like him.
I can't remember.
I don't recall that.
So.
Cliff as the OC. Only on 2 teams interview request list right now. 2 out of the 6 teams. I don't think the Cowboys are one of them.
Rapp said to watch him. So I don't know what that means, if he got a clue or if he's just kind of doing an agent a favor or what. But Rappaport said to look out for Kingsbury potentially being on their list.
On Dallas?
Yeah.
See, I see that as a fit because he feels Cliff is Cliff. He's not like, I got to command this. I got to, like, he'll probably just handle the offense. All right, yeah, you go ahead and hire whoever you want as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good, but I think it'd be better than what they've been doing.
I just feel like that he would do that.
Yeah, and I read something pretty interesting on,
and he might be, creative.
Yeah,
in the offense. Yeah,
for sure. I read something interesting on his offenses, and the whole late season drop off. That every team is expected to produce a little bit less efficiently on offense against their own division just because there's familiarity. But for him and in his offense, and I'd be interested to see how this plays out for like Mike McDaniels, etc. Cliff's numbers against his division opponents, the difference between non-division is huge. And if you think about it, the back of your schedule is usually division heavy. Like it's backloaded in division opponents. So you just think about it from
So you're saying he's bad within his division.
It's not bad, it's just he's like about the same, but his offenses are awesome against it's just a bigger gap. And it's just like, hey, teams are able to figure this out if they see it enough.
Mm-hmm. My thing though with that would be, because I do think that's fascinating data, but I do wonder, like, look at the division though. It's a pretty damn good division, like especially like if I don't have like the defenses in front of me, but we're talking about San Francisco, the Rams, and then we're talking about
the Seahawks.
Yeah. So I would that's interesting, but I do wonder like what those defenses look like, because there's a pretty good chance that they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's true too, and the same could be said maybe for Baltimore, because Baltimore has seen something similar to this, where Lamar can have crazy numbers, but in divisional games sometimes like they struggle, but those have also been pretty good defenses. I don't know. Just something to think about if he's going to be here. Because it certainly looks like whoever's going to be here is going to have their freaking hands full.
I mean, could it be a Kyler problem?
Yeah, it could be, but I mean, they slowed down this year. Now, Daniels was hurt. But their offense, it slowed down significantly this year, but they were unfreaking stoppable yesterday, or Saturday, whatever.
Hey, he a tweaker, shooter. He mellow with the Knicks. Now he Lonzo with the Heat. He don't get no jellyfish. Shit, he solid. Freeze, take it day, take it from. Either way, shit, he'll stop.
You like this?
This is not bad. Tweaker's the one that's on the Billboard. Tweaker's top 25 right now.
This is not
the one that's an NFL.
It says Tweaker official video. That's not it?
No.
All right.
Maybe he has multiple tweakers. Maybe he's already going remix on us.
Now the beat is different.
Yeah.
Keep looking.
All right.
Yeah, tweaker. It's a.
It sounds like a juvenile or like a big timer song to me.
Yeah, it's got there's like a Nelly like kind of melody too, like when he's doing the chorus.
Yeah, and it's not mumble rappy. I'll take it.
Did you have Dan Campbell audio you wanted to play?
Yeah, here's Dan Campbell after the loss. He talked for about 8 minutes, but here's the one where he really got sad. Dan Campbell.
A regular season that goes the way it did, you guys put yourself in the spot where you wanted to be. Is this a moment in sports, a moment in athletics that most people don't get, where you are so speechless because you just can't put into words everything that you've been through, and it ends up?
No, I just think it's just not the time, man. It's hard, when you lose these games, man. It's like the players,
Okay.
What they put into it.
Is he crying?
A lot of people don't know, what they go through. You have to get up. Bodies beat to shit, and mentally stay locked in and do those things. So long season.
What happened on the 12-man on the field?
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Ooh. Yikes.
I was glad he lost. I'll be honest. I know you are Dan Campbell guys. I'm trying to be nice. I was glad he lost. I was rooting against Dan Campbell.
You're just tired of it?
It's just too much of a bit. Like, it's over romanticized. Like, they got really, 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 really good players. They got really, really good coordinators. It's not that style, like that hardo go for it on fourth down every time and all that. Like, it's just getting so hyped up. Like, they're 90% of the teams in the league would trade their players for theirs for the Lions, and that crap wouldn't work with 90% of the teams either. Like, I was getting a little Dan Campbelled out. That's just me, though. I'm kind of a hater, but I was very, very tired of it.
What's interesting, though, is that anytime you have a coach like that, and by that I don't mean like that he wants to drink out of a water hose at practice with you. I mean fourth downs. Everybody wonders, like, hey, when we get to a one-game sample size in the playoffs, are you going to change? And, on one side you say dance with the one that brung you. This is what we've done. We're going for it. And then on the other side, you say you got to cut it out, like, and value possessions even more in a game like this. And, yeah, with 12 minutes to play I'm trying to think of when the 12 minutes to play was when they had the 12 men on the field on 4th and 2 that resulted in a touchdown. But the Jamison Williams reverse pass.
What was that? That was Ben Johnson. Like, why would you – I don't know. Some of these guys just get crazy with the
well, I mean, what's Jamison Williams right there? Is he supposed to throw it into the onto the sideline?
Yeah, or run.
Once he's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's obviously just like
they sniffed it out. It's triple coverage. Like, he was throwing that no matter what. Is the thing. Like, it's a surprise play. It's a trick play.
Yeah.
If he's wide open, that's when it works.
Yeah.
But they were obviously really ready for that stuff.
I don't know how you ascertain this, but if you're going to run something like that, you have to be able to have figured out, like, this guy's not going to throw the ball if it's not open. You know what I mean? And, like, a lot of people were pointing this morning to, like, you put your season on the line in the hands of a guy to make a smart decision who was gambling on football at the facility last year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Under his own name.
Yeah, under his own name.
Under his own name.
J-Mo Big Parlay 67. It's like, dude.
He took the Commanders' money line.
However, the other play they ran with the handoff pitch
that was sick.
The best football play I've ever seen in my life.
That was nasty.
Describe it. I'm trying to remember.
They ran a reverse, and then as they were running the reverse, St. Brown takes out on the slot, and they shovel pass it to him.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Tom Brady literally was going to climax.
Do you like Tom Brady?
I actually do. I've seen some people, like some listeners of ours, like I don't even know. I like him. I really do. I don't like Burkhardt much, but I think Tom Brady's really good.
You saw that 12-man thing right away.
Right away. Where am I on who?
Burkhardt. Why aren't you a fan on him? By the way, Romo's the worst. Like, it's bad now.
Romo's gotten tough for me. I'm a Collinsworth guy. I like Collinsworth.
You don't like Burkhardt? Why don't you like Burkhardt?
I think I like him even less with Tom Brady because I think he really, really wants to try to be cool and like, hey, I'm in here with Brady, and I don't think he has to because I think Brady's just cool, or whatever passes is cool when you're making out with your kid or whatever. But the potential for the second coolest football play I've ever seen was also in that game. And it's very important that if you're going to run a fake quarterback sneak to a pitch that you tell the running back behind you that you're going to do it so he doesn't run right into your back. But that could have been awesome. They motioned Mariota over to take the snap on 4th and 1, and then he was supposed to fake tush push an option pitch to one of the backs coming out of the backfield. Here's an overall way to put this. Almost every team I saw play this weekend had stuff in their bag that the Cowboys would never even dream of trying in
Texans,
2024.
same thing. It's the same with the Texans.
Certainly not in a playoff game.
Yeah, the Texans might be the only one that you'd look at and be like, all right, I get that. I recognize that plan.
It's frustrating. I think that's the most frustrating part, Jake, when you're watching like because whenever you like say something stinks, people say, well, it's not the main problem. It's like, yeah, but there's a lot. Like, they don't have good players and the whole way in which they function as an offense sucks. There's nothing worse than when the season ends watching other teams, even in college, and you're just like, they know what they're doing at the line of scrimmage a lot quicker. They have a lot more creativity. They have a lot more of a grasp. That's the most frustrating thing. It sucks.
This is it right here.
Yeah,
Whoa. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, this is it.
LiAngelo Ball.
Signed a big record deal, Dan.
Def Jam.
Ooh. I guess we could just...
We didn't say it.
What do you say, the N-word? I'm just playing a song here, bro. Said the S word. Said the F word. A lot of letters associated with words.
There's really only one that matters. I'm going to play you guys a piece of audio, and this is from a new file I have called... I think this is funny and uncomfortable, but I can't totally explain why. And it's after Brian Robinson scored a touchdown. And you know what they're going to do, right? Because they hadn't done it in the game yet.
See a little love from Dan Quinn and Brian Robinson, he's been through a lot. In 2022, he was shot multiple times in a carjacking incident, right? So for him just to come back and be okay, now scoring a playoff touchdown. But there's concern for their starting right guard, Sam Cosm, injury timeout.
So we're in the middle of the armed robbery note, but Cosme's down.
Cool story, and then, oh my gosh, this guy's got a bone sticking out of his...
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like, on one hand, you're like, all right, well, he's hurt, but he didn't get shot.
Yeah.
You know, but then the way the injury piano starts right when they're talking about him getting shot, I thought that was funny. One more quick thing from this game. It's just an ad. Apparently, Fox has got a pregame show for Super Bowl Sunday featuring CT and Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That was really weird.
And it's going to be on something called Tubi, where Dexter Video Man is nodding at the existence of Tubi. Apparently, Fox or Fox News bought it. It feels like something that, what's his name, from Succession. Like, I feel like this is something that Kendall just bought.
Yeah.
And then
I've interacted with Tubi. I can't recall how, but maybe through my kids.
So this is a bit I don't like. When you are someone like Boban, or in this case Gronk, who just has a personality, what sucks is when brands want to use your personality, but they have to write it for you, or they choose to. This is what I mean.
Get ready for Super Bowl licks.
No, that's Super Bowl 59, Gronk.
Your Super Bowl party starts here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here's Gronk, meathead, like, oh, he's an idiot, and they want him to be that guy, but then they have to write it for him to be that guy. And
now you're acting like the idiot, but you're
I think
not.
It comes off just ick.
Yeah.
It's giving ick.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. Small thing.
Before we get to
your ick list, Jake, like as far as like, this guy's doing too much because The Rock's number one for me. Like God, like
yeah,
Kevin Hart's up there too. Kevin Hart's up there.
You know what? I was actually about to say Kevin Hart. I had a big weekend with The Secret Life of Pets. Kevin Hart, both in 1 and 2. Dan, Louis C.K. replaced for the sequel.
That's a joke. He should have still been able to do that.
I know. I was trying to explain it. Like my kids know when the voice is different now.
I would rather have bacon on every piece of food that is served to me for the rest of my life than more Kevin Hart. The country has gone way out of control on Kevin Hart. He's a hack. He's not funny.
Real quick, I want to.
He works hard. I work hard. I am always out. Okay,
good for you, dude.
What about something funny? Like, what about you're a comedian? I'm not in the. I want to see a guy who's done the most hours on stage. I want to see the guy who's the funniest on stage.
What's his best movie? Real quick, go. Give me one funny Kevin Hart movie. Go.
I honestly don't. I'm not the guy. He's very funny.
Tell me his funniest stand-up
in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, 40-Year-Old Virgin. He's basically just an extra going in there threatening to shoot up the place.
Yeah,
that's it.
His dad getting in a fight, I think, is a funny bit. But you haven't seen any Kevin Hart stand-up, so I don't even know why I opened my mouth.
I've seen his stand-up before.
I absolutely have.
Yeah, and I didn't find it.
Oh, this guy's mad at the bagging on Kevin Hart.
No, I'm not.
That doesn't really fit your new image as run the ball guy.
Well, I'll throw a trick
over
play
with
out.
me. Yeah.
I'll run a play action every once in a while.
What's your movie? What's your favorite movie, Blake, of Kevin Hart? Soul Plane?
No. I don't know. I remember seeing one of his stand-ups.
Get Hard?
Get Hard was probably his best movie, honestly.
I've heard that's
that
actually
was just a
funny.
throwaway. Yeah, it's actually really, really funny, but that was as much Will Ferrell as him.
Does Will Ferrell use the N-word in that movie?
I don't know.
Because he definitely has. I mean, look, we all have. But he's done it on...
But he released one of his stand-ups in theaters, and I went to go see it, and I actually enjoyed it.
Wow, that's a tough...
You went to the theater to see Kevin Hart in stand-up?
I did.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
You got a lot to learn.
Whoa.
It was pretty good.
You know, it is interesting as we talk about the teams that made it and things that might ruffle the feathers of our established the run producer here. It's pretty much the case now that if your quarterback is not dynamic, you're effed. You know? Like, Goff can be pinpoint whenever the pocket's perfect all he wants. Stafford can still throw crazy stuff around people, and you got to be able to run. Like, in Stroud's probably, like, just above the threshold. But Dak is definitely below it. I put Dak and Goff in the same category.
It's the new way.
I think Stroud is right in between.
Yeah.
Burrow and Goff. Like, I think there's, like, he'll never be Burrow. And I don't know if he'll get to the level that Goff's even playing right now. But, like, the skill set on, like, any given play is kind of there. I don't know that he has, like, the awareness of Goff. Like, he's smart, except sometimes in play. But I think he's, like, right in between Goff and Burrow. Like, right in the middle. Never going to get up here with Burrow. And
yeah,
it's kind of like that kind of vibe with Stroud.
Like Dak.
Let's keep talking football. Factor Meals. Let's work them in as well. Got a shipment this weekend, as a matter of fact. They'll send you a box. Arrives fresh and fully prepared. Perfect for an active, busy lifestyle like for me.
And Kevin Hart.
When I think active and busy,
we're
I
always
think
doing
Dan.
stuff.
You
And how
are.
about just trying to be a little healthier?
I'm a huge Factor guy. Customer for as long as they'll have me. Factormeals.com/dumbzone50 off. That'll get you 50% off your first box plus free shipping. If you have kids, you're both working, Factor, huge. You don't have to spend a ton of time at the grocery store. You don't have to be, making the meals, cleaning up. They're already made. You microwave them for 3 minutes. They have tons of options for you. Factor's a huge player in my life, so go check it out. Factormeals.com/dumbzone50 off.
The next game in order. Want to go in order? Because we can also talk about our day yesterday. We watched this game at something called Cosm. You know what that is, Landry?
I have no idea.
You know what the Sphere is in Vegas?
Yes.
So this is
I've seen this, yes.
It's kind of a mini sphere,
Yeah.
except it's not round.
One in Dallas or at Grandscape in the Colony, and one in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's in the Colony near Nebraska Furniture. It's COSM. I didn't know what to expect. Our buddy Jeff invited us. Blake thought he should go to softball batting practice instead of this, and so he did that.
Got to work on my swing.
But we went, and it's a giant screen. It's kind of like the Jumbotron at Jerry World, except you're sitting, 20 feet away from it.
Yeah, we were on the front row.
You're in the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you look up, you look to the left, you look to the right. It's not 360 around you, but it's enough that anywhere you are, you're like, I'm in the stadium. Like, they have a camera affixed to the goalpost, and that is the shot that you see most of the time. They have another camera up in the stands, kind of like the top of the first deck, you would say, or the first row of the second deck. And then they have another one down low on the sideline. This one was on the Philly sideline, so we got to look at Big Dom all game.
The whole game, you could just track it.
Like, they would just go here to here. They would just, somebody switches those cameras.
So
like
you could
Dexter.
see the whole sideline. So, like, the equipment stuff going on, the kicker's right in front of you, kicking into a net, like the kicker's right in front of you.
We're watching him practice as they're on a drive.
Yeah.
During the breaks, you're in the stadium. So you just see the stadium workers or whatever thing they do on the field. A lot of stadium workers involved in this game because they were trying to clear the field of snow. Plus, now the snow coming, there couldn't have been a better experience for us, I think, on our first trip to this thing.
Felt like you were getting snowed on.
It felt like you were getting snowed on, but you're all warm, and you're sitting inside a booth with your buddies, and you're drinking and you're eating, and
dude,
it's unbelievable.
How was the grub? Was the food pretty good too?
Food's great.
Yeah, they have a serious.
It's not really a commercial for them, but we're just telling you this.
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, no, it's a very
legit.
cool thing.
It's very, very cool. Like if you
the food's pretty high dollar.
It's
but I
all
guess
pretty high dollar.
Once they get you in there, it's just like being in a stadium.
Do they have a normal TV too that you can look to the side of, or are you just kind of are you in? Like when you're in, are you in?
So basically, in this main hall where the attraction is, the screen in the top left and top right of that, they have the game broadcast playing.
Okay, that's good.
And they have the audio from the game broadcast being piped in. But multiple times, I caught myself when we were at End Zone Cam. When there was a replay to be shown, rather than looking at the NBC copy, I just watched the Jumbotron inside the link. You're just watching what people in the stadium are watching. And when you're in the stadium cam, you're like right above the fans. I mean, you're 10 feet or 20 feet away, whatever, from just a guy who's just at the game. You see him talking to his buddy. If somebody was yelling the C word at a Packers fan, they're right next to you. Like last week. It's the craziest sports watching experience I've ever had.
It was cool to watch during the breaks and everything when they're trying to clear the field as much as they could. The snow kept coming down, so they got these big giant leaf blowers that they're just would blow off the snow. They blew off the yard markers and the whatever. But it was the fourth quarter, and they were only working on the side of the field where the Eagles would go to score.
Yeah, the Rams had the ball.
The other side was just
yeah.
They kind of half-assed it.
But the amount of like talking to between teams in breaks, talking to the officials, there's just a lot going on in between plays and in between timeouts in NFL games that you don't see. It's so cool. Like when the defense got a turnover and they all run to one end to do their celebration in the end zone, that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Let's see.
Running plays, like right in front of you, the way you can see the line open
up.
And the running back trying to pick a hole.
A guard pull or something. And,
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy cool.
Could you watch like a real because it seems cool. I've seen it, but like if the Longhorns were playing or something, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, it's right on
to be like that.
It's right on the line of being a little bit much for a game you really, really cared about. But the downside of it being a game you think you don't care about is that I had to listen to Fly Eagles Fly for like 15 minutes in person yesterday, and that
large.
That's not fun.
Philly fan contingent living in Dallas.
Very.
Had they won, the Rams would have said they were doing it for the LAFD. Which they're now wearing those shirts and the hats since they lost.
You hadn't lived.
I must mention that they clearly don't care about the fire department.
Blake, you hadn't lived until you've watched a sporting event featuring a team who's in the middle of a tragedy with Dan. So incomplete pass? Well, I guess they didn't care about the fire on that one.
I thought we were doing this for the firefighters.
Big play? That one must have been because another house just burned down.
Oh.
It's just nuts.
There were some awkward drop-ins, though, mentions of that on the broadcast. I don't know if y'all caught it. Like the Rams got their backs against the wall. I think they were down 2 possessions. They got their backs against the wall, but it's not worse than what's going on in L.A. or something like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you why there was that.
The 6-minute mark.
Here's why there was that. Because we were talking about play-by-play guys we like or don't like. The number one worst play-by-play guy of the big four is, of course, Mike Tirico. He sucks. He's
Nance over Tirico?
I got to take Nance over Tirico over Nance, rather. I have to.
Yes, they're both very similar. They both want to tell you that you're not behaving correctly, probably in their eyes because of their moral high ground.
Oh, yeah.
Really interesting for both of those guys to actually be on this post, as they both have some pretty good Kemp spins.
I don't really know what an ascot tie is, but I feel like they both wear them.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's just like when one of the even Brohard, if he does a read about the firefighters or something, it just doesn't sound as gay. It's just not as. I don't know.
That's what Tirico does?
I don't know. Tirico's just like...
Tirico seems like a guy...
I think you're faking it here.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you're actually sincere about them. So at least treat it like a read.
Yeah, I agree with this. Tirico seems like a type of guy who definitely wants you to think he reads books. I don't know if he does, but I know that he wants you to think he's the type of guy who might go to a play on you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I meant to research.
I think Nance is like that also.
Oh, my gosh, for sure.
Yeah.
Nance, I'm trying to get this audio. I'm actually trying to do it on the go. But you should have heard Jim Nance one time. So they were having the Houston Sports Awards, which is actually a pretty big event. And he was like the honoree because he's a Houston guy. He went to U of H, and he was like the honoree. And he went on the radio with at our time, the afternoon drive show. And it was very simple. Like when you have these guys on, y'all know this from the Super Bowl. Like if you have some rando on, you're going to ask them about the Cowboys in some way. Like you want to localize it because of your audience. But someone just asked, like, what do you think about this wild Texans offseason? Like they'd fired Bill O'Brien and the Deshaun stuff was going on, but they didn't ask him to like weigh in on raping women or something like that. And he just like goes, I'm here with hundreds of my friends and you're trying to get me in a controversy? Have a good one. Y'all don't want to talk about the Masters or anything? Have a good one. Slammed his headset down. Wow. And then he told our boss at the time, he's like, man, that was bullshit. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was just
got a little Lee Corso in him.
It was like a simple,
interesting
throwaway, localized question, and he just completely lost it.
Stafford has a bad record in cold or snow, but, man, I thought he played well. A lot of drops. So it's, the rest of the team also isn't ready to play in the cold and snow. Not that it wasn't like Philly's great in the cold and snow either.
No,
a lot of drops as well.
Yeah, Jalen was not good through the air, but the thing is he's got another pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when it's not going well, I kind of feel like his legs won the game for him. Like Saquon's going to get his apparently, but then to let Hurts run all over you.
Didn't like him taking that safety.
Oh no, yeah, that was right in front of us.
Yeah, Neville Gallimore, who did not have a sack all season, and then last week I think he had one, or maybe even 1.5, and then he had that. Like, he just plays big in big games.
Yeah.
I think that's what they say. So right in front of us, we would see, during timeouts and whatever, like we were watching the field. And we had end zone cam when the cheerleading crew would come out to do their thing. Mm-hmm. So they have like 15 or 20 cheerleaders. One dude. Not just the dance, so dance team does some dance things. But then they come out with pom-poms. Dude has the pom-poms.
Holding them?
Dude
he's like
has
dancing normal?
Dude has the pom-poms doing the cheerleading
they brought him back
stuff.
out. He did, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interested in looking into who this dude is. Big Dom. Sleeveless. So everybody else is like wearing the big oversized coats things and hats. He's got a baseball hat. And sleeveless. And what is Big Dom? Like their head of security, right?
That I believe it's his official title.
He's more than that. There's something else there.
Big Dom wearing a headset. Like communicating, can hear the coaches on the headset.
Yeah. And
like, is he chiming in? Is he saying something to Jalen Hurts?
It's hilarious. The whole thing is hilarious. He stalks up and down the sideline like a hitman the whole game. I know Sirianni does this also, and I guess the league will let you, but you can put like a heritage flag somewhere on your gear, and he's got the Italian flag on the hat.
Of course he does.
It's hilarious.
He's playing the part of Big Dom.
He really is.
I didn't realize these days. I do remember, I don't know what game this is, but I think there was a famous playoff game, and it might have been in New England, where there was a game-winning field goal coming up, and there was snow, and like a snowplow drove across the field and cleared a spot just for the New England kicker. Apparently that's now illegal, because during the, I guess Collinsworth was talking about, hey, you got to look at the players out there.
Yeah, it falls from the sky.
I like Collinsworth just because
I love him.
He's got color. He's somebody interesting.
Brian Curtis wrote an article about Mike Tirico last week. Sorry. And one of the notes that I found, as well as Ted Emmerich, we were texting about it, found interesting. Collinsworth, at whatever age he is, still mainlining Mountain Dew, Blake.
Awesome.
And my comment to Ted was like, there are two places I identify with Collinsworth, and it's Florida and Ohio, which are absolutely in the Mountain Dew states of America.
But the players have to clear the spot for the kicker now.
Yeah.
So they have to get on their hands and knees and just wipe off as much as they can. I'll be interested to talk to Brandon about that this week.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was a 1982 snowplow game. It was between it was a 3-0 victory by the Patriots over the Miami Dolphins, 1982.
Wow. 3-0.
Dan was also very interested.
They flipped that field, Blake,
time and time again. Dan was also very interested in the support staff. We know about guys, females, who will come out and give you water on the field. They have people to come out and just put coats on you.
They will just run out, put your coat on while it's a timeout or whatever, and the players are standing on the field with the big coat on, and then they
run off. They run the coats.
It's just very interesting to see behind the scenes stuff.
It is,
because you don't see that on the broadcast.
Yeah,
would you feel awkward having someone put a coat on you? Though?
Yes,
like, that's just kind of just hand it to me. I feel bad for even doing.
I always think that when the guy runs out and squirts water in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just give me the bottle.
And he makes you kind of kneel down while he's doing it. And he's kind of got his hand on the back of your head.
Yeah. What's that about?
Why does that happen? Saquon.
Why is he taking the water bottle and tapping it on your tongue?
Saquon has eye black on just one eye.
Yeah.
Under just one eye.
Style.
So I don't know.
Anything that's done purely for look, Dan is confused by.
Okay. Is Jalen Hurts doing it just for look? The big giant amount of eye black?
Yeah. It looks cool.
We did hear the question yesterday in the place, like, do black people need to wear eye black?
Well, I mean, it's one thing to say we heard the question. It's another one to say we asked it.
Well, I didn't. I'm not the one who said it. It was somebody I was sitting next to. But it wasn't you.
The hubbub from the back.
Yeah, people were talking. Saquon, he's going for the most yards in a single season in NFL history if you include the playoffs. Right now he's at 22-18. Terrell Davis, 24-76. Has the most
Mile High salute.
No, maybe this is a big deal for tomorrow too, just to talk about the Cowboys front. But I can find a way where almost every single thing Commanders and Eagles related makes me think of the Cowboys. Whether it's Dan Quinn, Kellen Moore, some of the players, whether it's the fact that the Cowboys in this 1 year decided that running backs absolutely not only don't matter, they don't need them at all. None. And then one of their division rivals signed a running back the year they decided not to, and that guy could be an MVP. Like, everything they did, the other teams in their division did the other thing, and now they're both in the conference championship.
And then our last game is the Buffalo-Baltimore game. Not as snowy, but also snowy. And let's pump up Lucy. That is the nicotine pouches.
Yeah.
Tobacco-free.
Tobacco-free
pouches. And they say they're not like the nicotine pouch company that's owned by Big Tobacco. They're the mom and pop shop of pouches. So
yeah, they work very well. Lucy.co/dumbzone. Use promo code dumbzone. That'll get you 20% off your first order. I like these. I like them with a little coffee in the morning. Maybe a little midday action.
Don't they have that flavor thing that Blake was
oh my God,
loving?
Keep the flavor longer for you.
Yeah, once it gets a little dry, you pop that little espresso, and loosens right up. I'll definitely be taking these to the softball fields.
Oh,
perfect
great
place
for softball.
Lucy.co/dumbzone.
It's a superior product. They got different, they got the 4s, they got the 8s. I'm a big fan.
They got AIDS.
They have the 8s.
Oh, 8. What's 8?
/dumbzone. They have 4 milligram. They have 8.
Oh, you said 4 and then 8.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't have made sense if you said they also have AIDS.
The AIDS flavor.
No. Again, thanks to Lucy. At lucy.co/dumbzone, you can get yourself a premium nicotine experience. These are, legitimately, these are better. I will tell you.
And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Thank you, Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what can you say?
The Ravens only 11 turnovers all season, and then 3. That's a big thing. That's a pretty huge thing in these playoffs.
Yeah, you got to wonder how much was weather, on his fumble, on the Lamar fumble, right? Bobble snap, you're trying to pick it up. I don't know.
After this
feel
game,
bad for the guy.
Right. Well, the end of the game makes you think, you can't just put this on Lamar, because the way the game ended, he led ostensibly a game-tying drive, 3.5 minutes left, leads him down the field. Then, a perfect pass, a perfect play, and a tight end who really does not put the ball on the ground totally just drops it. He also didn't talk to the media after the game. I don't know what, Mark Andrews is like, and if the people there like him, if the reporters like him, if your Landry's in the locker room or into Mark Andrews. It is kind of a bad look. He had that big fumble, and then he dropped that pass. Now, the game isn't over. Who knows what happens after that?
Yeah, a minute and a half. This feels a little Des caught it-ish.
Tough weather, though, to drive down the field, but, Baltimore did it. Once they got to that point, I thought Romo had a really bad point, and see if you agree with me on this one. So this is Mark Andrews had dropped that potential 2-point conversion that would have tied the game.
That's caught 999 out of 1,000.
Now their hopes, with only one timeout, their only hope is to recover an onside kick.
So this goes under my heading of Romo always has to talk, even if you shouldn't say. If there's nothing to say, sometimes there's nothing to say. But you know how Greg Olson he'll just lay out. He won't say anything after that. But Nance, if he's reading something about a kid with cancer, Romo will be like,
tough.
Cancer, bad. Kids, good. Don't like to mix them. That's like, you don't want to put peanut butter on your steak, do you? I mean, that would be terrible. You don't mix certain things. You don't do.
Because if you're a peanut butter fan, you're like, I don't like this with steak. And then if you're a
cancer
steak fan, you're like,
anyway, so that's what this
is to recover an onside kick, which the conversion rate on that this season around the league is about 1 out of 20, about 5% of the time.
The only hope you have is that you have the greatest kicker of all time coming out, who's practiced this more than anybody maybe ever.
Nance even realizes there's nothing to say to that, because that's just stupid what you just said. So he is the greatest kicker of all time.
For now.
I don't know that he's practiced an onside kick more than anyone else ever. When I do a quick search, it seems Young-Ho Koo has had quite a few onside kicks actually recovered. I don't know that we know Justin Tucker as, he's the guy that he's got 7 different cool onside that's nothing in his bag to suggest he's a good onside kick guy.
Do you know how it would not be possible?
Now, his accuracy on field goals makes him the greatest kicker
Sure.
ever.
Do you know it would not be possible if he tried for Romo to care less about special teams? I'm telling you, dude. And
it's one of the 3 phases.
Speaking of Tirico, Brandon's mentioned to us that he gets really psyched on special teams, which makes a lot of sense to me. And that's noted in that Brian Curtis article. Some guys are into it. Romo ain't one of them. He's just like, I've seen that guy before. Justin Tucker. But in general, I don't enjoy a Romo call.
He just knows he's good. He knows Tucker is good, and I will say, well, that probably means he can do an onside kick. But that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is Josh versus Lamar, Josh Allen.
Didn't have to do
great.
much, but when he does, he's pretty great. Their defense is held up despite losing a lot of guys to free agency, getting picked off.
2 more rushing touchdowns in the playoffs. He's got 7 in 12 playoff games. Let's see. Tom Brady has 7 in 48 playoff games.
Wow.
And he's second all-time. Steve Young is first all-time with 8.
Wow. That's a low number.
It really is. But quarterbacks rushing touchdowns. And it does set up. I mean, Chiefs, it's a good storyline. Chiefs, Bills.
Chiefs, Ravens would have been good too. But yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, Chiefs, Bills is like, that's been a great rivalry.
Sure.
And, all signs do point to it should be the Bills are a better team, but I don't know. I don't want to bet against the Chiefs.
Yeah, what's the opening line?
2. 2.5. I've seen the Chiefs favored by 2 or 2.5, so that's kind of where it's at right now.
Do you guys
enjoy
when you think about the Super Bowl, like the funniest ways that it'll be covered? Like if the Chiefs get in this year, it's like what else can they do? From covering 20,000 hours of content about the Chiefs, like what it's all done. Like probably
Repeat all the way.
Repeat will be what it is. They could cover how one of the punter for the Chiefs used to play for the Bills,
and I would be that has got to be the most bitter thing ever because they didn't stand by him.
Not at all.
Proven innocent. They didn't stand by him, and he got proven innocent. That is the ultimate grudge match that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, every time I see him now, whether he's running out of safety at the back of the end zone or not, I'm like, boy. And I was probably part of it. Like, I don't know. This woman says this happened. Like, usually it seems like it's happened, and he wasn't even there, and he lost his job.
What was it?
It's a gang rape.
It look worse. Yeah, it was a gang rape, and they didn't even stand by him, and then they made it look worse because he gets. You think, well, they must know something.
Yeah,
like they must know the truth. So yeah, like as soon as I saw him released, I was like, oh well, so much for what he's saying, and then. Boom, he's on the Chiefs.
Yeah, not even like there's some questions about it that made it beyond a reasonable doubt. He wasn't there. And then the other side, of course, if the Bills make it, we're going to have a real conversation about the utility of using Al-Qaeda metaphors to make it to the Super Bowl. And that story kind of went away. But
it would have been better if it happened in the same season, but you're right.
It would be better.
Well, they almost fired him last year.
Yeah. Yeah, he had some very bad clock management and play call situations at the end of the year last year. He's had it multiple times.
Well, sometimes you crash in the field. Okay?
Not all the planes made it.
Sometimes Mark Wahlberg gets in there and takes you down.
Oh, God. He actually did that.
What was the context of those references? I'm going to have to dig a little more deep into that if they make the Super Bowl.
McDermott, it came out in a big article about him that, he kind of did while they are murderous terrorists, we must admit that the hijackers on September 11th were incredibly well coordinated.
They were organized.
They were super
had to
organized.
Work in conjunction with each other.
And if you want to have a success like that.
Right.
So this week the Kansas City Chiefs is the U.S. government, okay?
Like
and we're going to have to bond together.
Knocked down 2 skyscrapers.
They changed the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah.
Maybe there was 11 hijackers. Yeah. 11 guys. See? 11.
Like, did he use this in a coaches meeting before he used it with the team? And do his assistants just hate him? Did one of them not say, "Hey, that's probably not."
Yeah, it's the assistant that ended up getting let go, and then he leaked that story to Sports Illustrated.
At the time, the guy was like, "That's awesome." Yeah, Dorsey. Well, look, they're back in the conference championship. Well, good times.
Joe Brady.
Good times.
How about Joe Brady for the Cows?
Oh, dude, I love it. I would.
He seems like your guy, man.
Yeah.
Jerry would never do that.
He would never do it. Ever. And I heard Ben Johnson is asking for massive, massive money.
Which he should.
Of course he should, but so the Cowboys are probably out on that too.
Yep.
Brian Schottenheimer would do it without needing a pay raise.
Oh, he'd do it for free.
Yeah, he's like, all right, whatever. Just
it cannot be
put
Brian
my name
Schottenheimer.
on here.
So I have some other Cowboy stuff, but I want to
Marty
take a break.
dead.
Should we take a break first? It's a really long show, but
yeah. Should we say bye to Landry?
Are you out of here,
been
Landry?
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah, just whatever. I'm chilling, man. I mean, it snowed. The whole city's shut down right now because there's going to be like 3 inches of snow. So
it's up to y'all.
Yeah.
You want to hang for the rest of the show?
Sure.
Okay. Well, then we're going to take a break. And did you want to? Are you just pulling up the inauguration during the break? On stream?
It's over.
Oh.
So I was well, I don't know if I should say it or not. We had been kicking around like we want to stream the Mavs game. And so I've been kind of dallying with pulling up the Mavs game every once in a while, and it seems to be working. We can put the Mavs game up if you want.
It seems super legal too.
Or we don't have to.
No, give it a run. Why not?
Here, I'll just throw up an image. Well,
the dumbs are.
The
dumbs are. Next up, we have some old named Buzz Aldrin.
Okay. Apparently, I haven't scared you enough.
Dude, who wants this?
Walked on the Moon was in 30 Rock.
Who wants it, though? Is it Tom guessed?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think space is super gay. I think astronauts are gay.
Disagree.
I think space is gay.
Right up there with dinosaurs.
No.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Hey, let's mention Ownwell. That is the place that can help you reduce your property tax. Property tax bills for Texas homeowners due January 31st. So instead of spending hours filing your appeal and preparing for an in-person hearing, can I talk? Just go sign up at Ownwell. It takes like 3 minutes or so. I signed up. Now, they kind of told me, look, I don't think we can, we're not going to waste your time. So it was a very quick, I just found out, and they're like, no, I think your property tax is in line. You saved a bunch of money, though, didn't you?
I did. And if you didn't save money, then that means our listeners have a better chance of saving money because 86% of homeowners get some sort of discount with Ownwell.
Well, there you go.
That's sort of how it works.
No, just go with him.
Ownwell.com/thedumbzone.
That sounds like math to me. What is the website?
Ownwell.com/thedumbzone. Got our own landing page there.
No puppet.
Okay.
Keeping track of a tied Mavs game here. Or Mavs down 2 to Charlotte.
Okay, so we have a new president. Everything's fine.
So far, yeah.
TikTok is here.
So far.
Landry's still with us.
So far.
What other check marks do we have to do for today?
I'm
going to hold this cowboy. It was Dez versus Micah on Twitter, but we can do that tomorrow.
It was bound to happen. It was truly bound to happen.
Two titans of their industry, their respective industry, had to get together. All right, well, let's do the news then.
Okay.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
I could have just played that and not said it, because then it's just redundant.
So yeah, I mean, let's start with TikTok. It went away. It's sort of back. The Supreme Court ruling was upheld.
Did they put out the Stringer Bell meme?
The put word back out there that we up.
We back up.
We back up. Probably. As we talked about, the president of TikTok was at the inauguration today with Zuck and Elon.
Is the president of TikTok Chinese?
He is. Xiao Zi Chu. And so we talked a little bit about this last week. It's very funny. Like, Trump was super against it. TikTok, it's because of China.
Well, the Twitter thing I saw this weekend was just people, all the politicians who, they hear what Trump is into or not, and so they got to go tweet that I'm against it too. And it was 2020, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's screenshotting their most recent thing of, hell yeah, TikTok's back. we did this for you, but then screenshot it with their TikTok's the worst thing that's ever happened in this world. We need to eradicate it.
Yeah.
So it seems like politicians on both sides will kind of shift gears on depending on what people are saying.
But there's a number of cases like this one from right here in Texas, in North Texas, that are, kind of sad. A man named Matthew Krath, he's from Northlake, and he quit his job after he became very famous on TikTok. He amassed 2 million followers. And, I don't know really what he does, to be totally honest with you. It just says he's provided him with a steady source of income to provide for his family. He quit his job in 2019. And that's a big part of this, is that there are a lot of businesses. I don't know that my wife has purchased anything that wasn't advertised on Instagram or TikTok in the last 3 or 4 years. So you got a lot of businesses that rely on this.
Do we?
Not really.
What do we do on there?
Try to post funny stuff.
But that's not monetized for us? We're not killing it like this guy?
No.
That's too bad. Well, I guess it doesn't matter now, since it's kind of going away, but now it's back. So
so the Biden administration was like, look, I'm not doing this on my last day of work. It's the ban's in place. It's going to be up to Trump and his DOJ to handle this. And Trump says he's going to try to work something out. But, I mean, while I do think they probably will work something out because he can, it will be going directly against the Supreme Court ruling. And they've been pretty cool to him.
Well, I don't even understand. What is their ruling? They're ruling that why can't we have TikTok? Because it's owned by China?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's just a platform, right? They can just get a different platform.
Well, they want him to sell that part of the company. They want him to sell they want ByteDance to sell TikTok.
But instead of that platform, just put it on Instagram. Your little video.
I don't know, man. I saw a bunch of people complaining about it.
Why are you
over the
shaking your
weekend.
head?
It's just different, apparently.
Me?
Yeah, I thought.
I'm dealing with a layout issue.
Oh.
Yeah, and from like the idea of why did they want it not in America? I mean, the Chinese Communist Party owns part of it, and they can demand access to all data by users: age, phone number, location. I mean, but do you really
care about that?
Do you think the Roast twins are real concerned if Xi Jinping can find out that they're at Sonic again?
Well, that's why I'm wondering why should we be concerned? Like, wouldn't you be more concerned with your own government knowing that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It is kind of the first time this has happened, though, where one just at its peak of usage or somewhere close to the peak of usage just went away.
It's staying, though, right? Like, they're not getting rid of this.
In some form, I think it probably will be staying.
What does Xi Jinping, I think I said that right. What does he sound like? Y'all might have found your guy with a deep voice. What if this is like the start of the show coming full circle and this is the deep voice.
TikTok stays.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It could be a sign.
What if Barron is behind this?
Barron's not behind this, but Barron is 100% behind that coin.
The meme coin?
Yes. Yeah.
What's that story?
Don't ask.
Oh.
I can't help you.
I thought you were leading into it.
I wish I could, other than to say that it definitely appears. I mean, I don't want to piss anybody off because I like having subscriptions, but I also think we can all be adults here. All politicians are lining their pockets. Can we just admit that, like, Trump goes to a different degree of fuck it? Like, others will put on the airs of I'm not doing this for personal gain, and then they'll, of course, get this money or that money. I follow an account that does nothing but track Nancy Pelosi's stock trades.
There's an app.
There's an app for it. Blake knows. You can set up, like, copy trades in your portfolios and stuff. But
so that you will do as well as she's doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just copy Pelosi. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you're not going to be quite as early as her, but you can get close.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
there.
So they're all doing it, but he just seems to really not care.
Well, where'd you get that idea? When he sold a Bible with it, or
Which there was some speculation I saw in an interview with Lee Greenwood where he said that today he was going to be sworn in on a new one, a new Lee Greenwood Trump Bible that was going on sale today.
a Lee Greenwood Bible?
They already have one that they sell. Comes with handwritten lyrics to "Proud to be an American" in it, but I don't know. It seems that Trump is like, whatever. If this is somewhat legal, and I think he amassed tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars over the weekend. Some people made like millions and tens of millions of dollars on the Trump coin, and then there was a Melania coin, which I was told to stay away from. But yeah, Barron's do it. You don't think Barron's ripping crypto all day?
I would be.
Yeah. Anyways. You into crypto, Landry?
No, it's way over my head, man. I'm not there on that.
Yeah, I spent all of halftime at Cosm yesterday trying to buy a Melania coin. Couldn't figure it out, so I determined it was probably not for me.
Yeah, I'm not in it at all. No.
I've said this a couple times now, but like, so the girls are really not. They don't care about this at all. Your girls, like, this is not a topic.
Crypto? They make fun of. Oh,
TikTok.
Oh, they're into TikTok. Yeah, they know.
But are they just like, it'll never go away?
Probably. Yeah, I haven't really interviewed them about whether they're concerned about the Chinese government's access to their information.
You know, it'd be really funny is if somehow, like, all of our sarcastic TikTok teens could just get in front of the Communist Party and just make fun of them. So that the Communist Party would realize who it is that they're messing with here. Like, oh, cool suit. Where'd you get it? They're the ones that we need to unleash on these other countries. Have you guys seen that Biden did not want to enforce the TikTok ban in his end of days, but he went ahead and hit several preemptive pardons, which is sick.
So you're pardoning someone just in case they get something.
Yeah, I didn't. How can you pardon someone that hadn't gotten accused of anything yet? How does that go down?
So who did he do?
Yeah.
Who did we get?
I want to hear this list.
Let's see. Siblings, their spouses.
That's fine.
Oh.
And a Fauci.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whose siblings?
Biden's own.
Like anybody related to Biden?
Yeah.
Like just in case you start to come after me.
Mm-hmm. And Fauci, dude, you know Trump's like, let's go. Let's figure out how we can get AIDS man behind bars. So, yeah, he issued blanket pardons for his brother and his wife.
How can you do that?
His sister and her husband. And then I think...
So there are a lot... Or, like, is it focused on something? Or is it that they can go out and do anything now?
No, I think
they can jaywalk.
I think he can... He handed them a get-out-of-jail-free card.
For anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hang on to it. You might need it.
Do you know the first thing I would do? Streaking at a championship game. Imagine how...
I would sexually assault Blake.
I don't know if you get in trouble for it, though.
Yeah, because you got to have somebody complain.
Yeah.
The way I do it, you complain. You just complain that it was too quick.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works. As far as, like, is it just stuff you've done up to now? Or is it, like, yeah, does
it's
it
probably
go
up till now.
You'd have to think.
It can't be anything in the future.
You'd have to.
Which seems great.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, you would have, like, all that stuff. Whatever you've done before, you would no longer worry if that was going to come back up, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if it covers murder. Murder.
That's
you
what you would
be able
do?
to pardon people who haven't gotten run down yet. Like that's crazy.
No, I'm just saying murder doesn't have a statute of limitations, right?
It says state crimes and civil stuff is the only thing that it doesn't pardon him from. So I think murder might.
Yeah.
I think it can literally be anything. It's just state crimes and civil with the Fauci pardon. So
let's see here. What do we want? Oh, how are you guys celebrating MLK Day?
Oh yeah, today's MLK Day.
I thought about that while driving here.
I praised Lamar Jackson, so I feel like I got my.
You did. You gave some. You're like, he's a good pocket passer.
Yeah. So I think I'm good, man. I think my MLK quota has been met with my Lamar Jackson praise.
Yeah, schools give the kids the day off, which means they stay up late, sleep in, eat junk food, and don't do anything all day. And that's how.
That's the message.
Remember,
that's the
MLK.
message of activism. Yeah, my kid's not in school, but I did look at the weekly rundown, and they're giving a little lesson. I'm interested to see how that goes. I don't know. I'm interested in how they teach.
You should record,
their social studies lessons.
Record that when they come home. Just say, so what did they teach you today about MLK?
That's not a bad idea. You know, I was going to save this.
He was a great man, and then he was shot.
I was going to save this for another day, but while we're talking about it, what?
On the subject, we're getting a bunch of declassified files coming up.
Okay.
Did you see that?
It's JFK.
And MLK.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That stuff will never be released.
Come on, man. Why not?
It's coming out, man.
And
Epstein.
I'm pointing it out.
Yeah,
there's
Epstein
going to be
too.
some kind of a loophole where they're never going to, especially if there's anything juicy in there. And it seems like there might be.
But you know that if anybody would.
I don't know. Trump's already been president. That's the thing. But there's so many people like, oh, man, Trump's going to.
Yeah, but now.
Why didn't he?
We can't run again now.
Right. He's in the second term Trump.
You're telling me he thinks he's not going to run again?
Well, he thinks if he's going to be president again, he ain't going to have to run. He's just going to be like Xi Jinping. And now he's got this freak show walking around with him every day going, find out what happened to my brother, my uncle. I think the CIA killed him and the files.
The Maha man.
The Maha. He's got RFK Jr. over there, so he's like, all right, let's figure this out.
How crazy is it RFK's married to Larry to Curb Your Enthusiasm?
It doesn't make any sense.
She's awesome too, man.
Yeah.
She is
We've
awesome.
had her on.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like when I was asking her for the liner at the very end, I said, hey, can we get one last thing from you? She goes, what? You want me to take my shirt off?
Oh, wow.
I'm like, no.
She's just cool in
well,
person.
Yeah. I would like two more things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like her.
I don't know what's going on, if this is related to it or not, but my Twitter feed, is out of control now. You like a couple high-protein, easy recipes and a couple of exercises in the gym, and the next thing you know, I'm just getting straight pilled by conservative stuff. And I'm led to believe we're right on the verge of alien discoveries being released. Is anybody else getting hammered with UAP content?
What's UAP?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
So UFO, we just can't go with that anymore?
No.
We just have to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is UAP the woke way to say it?
Yeah, it's like governor.
Interesting.
Instead of owner.
Is it because of drones that UFO could just be some random drone?
Probably.
And we need to specify this is an alien?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you said it was aerial.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know at all. No, but I was going to say, while we were talking about Martin Luther King, this is a major development in my home, and I'm not sure it's a good one, but my daughter now has a kid's Alexa. Despite the fact that I've never had Alexa, I've never used Siri, not on purpose, ever. I've never used a voice-activated command.
So wait, explain. What's going on here?
She got it for Christmas. I read about it before she got it and just decided I'm giving up. I'm going to give up.
They have a kid's Alexa.
Because, and yeah, she had been using my dad's, and they saw how much she liked it. And so I'm at this point where it's like, look, this is going to be her life. So what am I supposed to do about it? Like, I don't want to give her the phone or the tablet all the time, and I don't. We have good rules on it. But what's the point? Like, her life is going to be waking up and talking to a bot every day. So why just get familiar with it now? And the somewhat heartwarming thing is when it started Saturday, she had like educational questions. Like she wanted to give her words in Spanish. Or can you count, let's count in Spanish to whatever. Or what's the weather? Whatever. And it's really weird, dude. Because she'll say things like she knows who, some historical figures are. And she's like, tell me about George Washington. And it just goes.
But she's using it educational, right? Like
so
she's
far,
not like asking crazy stuff, right? Is it they're like blocked? Like, is there a parental block on it?
There is, but I still imagine there's some things that get through the filters a little bit. And she asked it yesterday, Saturday, are you a person? And it was like, no, but I can interact with you. Would you like a joke?
Yes.
And then this morning, apparently, they had set the alarm on this thing for 6:30, and the whole house is still asleep because they're not working or going to school today. And I start hearing something. It was super loud. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I go in there, and it's like, good morning from Alexa. Today is Monday, January 20th, and here's some things to get your day going. And then it started singing, and I was like, shut up.
So is this replacing morning radio?
Yeah. And I like waking her up, too. So I was like, we don't need you. This is my job. Shut up.
So we've turned off the alarm?
Don't need the alarm. That's Daddy's job. But already I was getting pissed off. Like Saturday afternoon, she's like, it knows everything. I was like, it really doesn't.
See? And now it's replacing
really
you.
And that's when she asked it to tell a joke.
She used to think you knew everything.
You're the stepdad now, bro.
What's that? Stepdad?
Stepdad now,
That's kind of how it felt. Like she was asking questions.
I think you need to step in. I think you're having way too much of a defeatist attitude on this. I think you need to step in.
It might be too late. Like, and
the
worst part was like the first 10 words she asked it in Spanish, I knew them. But then she asked one I didn't know, and she was like, see?
Yeah, Landry, this will play out. Jake will get mad enough one day, and he'll threaten to unplug it, and he'll come back to the establish the run phase that I'm in.
I'm going to get there. Dude, I even had to say, I was like, well, who do you think made that robot?
There we go.
It's like a human had to make it.
She's like, you? No. Well, tell me how it's made.
Yeah, it's full Bargatze.
It's got wires.
Like if you went to the future, or you went back in time and tried to prove you were from the future, could you even do it?
You wouldn't make any money.
No, it's like, I don't know how I don't know how electricity works. Hell, I went to the gas station this weekend, and a top 5 annoyance of all time. I don't think I can put this on my things I'm done with list because I don't think
lottery tickets.
Not lottery tickets. When you want to get gas, but you want to go inside or you want to get in your car, you set the gas pump, but it won't stay on for more than like 10 seconds.
Oh, the unplug.
Oh, you had to actually hold it the whole time?
You're walking up to the store and you hear, ding!
So frustrating.
Fuck, you go back and it's on
Sometimes you have to hold it. Sometimes you have to hold it at the right angle.
I
where
know.
If you go all the way up, it clicks too. So you're basically like having to hold it up like 3/4 of the way.
Yes, and I hate it. Like, how many times have you gone inside a store, taken 5 minutes, and you come back and you've pumped 83 cents of gas?
So, do you think there's any chance that the gas pump guy coming back? Like, there's all this nostalgia coming back. Like, do you ever think there was a time where you wanted someone to pump your gas, like the old school days?
Maybe when it's really cold. Are you saying like maybe just like there's like a bespoke sort of throwback movement towards having slaves?
I wouldn't say that. I would say they're employees that pump your gas. I wasn't like going in that direction. But I just wonder like if there's any nostalgia to that. Like, is there any? Like, because I don't know why Sonic still has multiple. Like, just turn yourself into an efficient ass drive-through and quit having this like sit at your car crap. It slows down y'all's whole process. Y'all aren't even an option when I'm going home. So stop the crap. Like, let's make this drive-through efficient. Y'all can keep the same food, make it a little bit quicker, and I don't have to sit at my car and have someone walk like 100 feet bringing me my food.
But that's the thing, Landry. They don't walk; they skate.
Well, not all of them.
They'll be right over there.
But so I go inside and I tell the guy, because this is a gas station I go to a lot, I was like, hey, 2 of your pumps have like the weird thing where you can't leave them up all the way. And the guy was like, pipes freeze.
Ooh.
And I was like, what?
With gas?
And he was like, I think the pipes freeze. And I realized at that point, as I was walking out, I have really no idea how gas ends up at the gas station.
I don't either.
What do you mean?
Like, I know that there's a big truck that pulls up and that there's a thing in the ground and it's there and you can steal it. But I don't, if you ask me to fully explain, like, how does getting gas in my car work from beginning to end, I cannot tell you.
You know, it's a great opinion to have is that all the premium, the regular and everything.
It's the same.
Say it's the same because then you'll get car guy coming at you with, no, this and this is different in the engine, and really, you can really tell the performance is.
Yeah, or the performance.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
I think it's the same formula. I don't even think they change it. I think it's the exact same formula. It's like when they take recycling from your house, dude. They're throwing it in the trash. Like, let's be serious. Y'all ain't doing nothing.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
my lawnmower guy
I'm
says
saving the earth.
We got to put premium in the lawnmower.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lawnmower.
You're trying to win the Indy 500.
The riding. I don't know. There's something about it. We're spurring emails to happen right now. So somebody will have Nora ask Alexa about that.
And I love the rental cars that are like, hey, this actually needs the premium gas.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The rental. Oh, okay. Yeah. Does it need a daily hand wash as well?
Sure. I'll put premium in it. You got it.
Yeah, do y'all get charged at oil change places? Like, because that is the worst bit in the world. The oil change,
the premium oil.
I know. And they look at me. They smell blood, dude.
They walk out with that air filter. Like, look, that looks dirty.
Awful.
Like, yeah, it
disgusting.
does look dirty.
And I've told these guys this, but the place where I go get my oil change, I've been 3 times now. It's a drive-in place, so I never even have to get out of my car. It's all lesbians. And
that's so hot.
They know that I'm weak. Like, it's one thing when it's like a big guy.
Landry, do you think these are hot lesbians working at a garage?
Dude, lipstick.
Not exactly, buddy.
Nah.
I've seen the video.
Are they?
No.
No, dude.
No, these are interior linemen. And they prey on me. You know what I mean? Like, they see me and they're like, all right, we can get this guy for anything we want.
But the problem with those things are that I've realized now is, first of all, it's they just want to have you trapped in your car to where they can try to sell you crap.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to go out to the lobby and get you. They have you there so they can sell you whatever.
Yeah, I'm in the car.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
Anyways, there's the news. I think.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
Thanks to today's sponsor, Tito's Handmade Vodka, American-made at its best. Since selling the first case in 1997, Tito's has come in a standard bottle with a modest paper label, so all you pay for is the high-quality vodka inside. Simple, smooth, and mixes with anything. Tito's is America's favorite vodka for a reason. 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's is a high-quality spirit made for the smoothest martinis and the best Bloody Marys beyond the bottle. Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. It is the vodka for dog people, after all. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at titosvodka.com. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Distilled from corn. Copyright 2025. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The Dumb Zone presents Today in History.
Notice how humble the intro for this segment is. It's just that the Dumb Zone presents it, whereas the news one is like, here's Jake.
Yeah, here's Jake.
Jake's doing stuff. It's so great.
No one chimes in but Jake.
Jake has a special thing.
Okay.
There's no Jake and team.
Yeah, sure. Mavs lost, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a fun one to lose.
They didn't hit the over either.
Dang.
I think you're on board with that, right? Don't you think?
I didn't do it, but
we were talking yesterday about the under on MLK Day.
That's a big thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I just wanted to get a little MLK heat check at 11 a.m. and see what.
Why not?
Didn't get it. little short, 10 points short.
So I don't really have any listener birthdays for today. We had Deuce Robinson was yesterday, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
And it is my mom's birthday yesterday as well, same day as Deuce.
Calling her?
Do you want to call her? I don't know that she'll answer. Can we or no?
Yeah, Landry just might not be able to hear her.
I mean, we've already been going a long time. You want to forget it?
True.
No. We can try it.
I mean, if you want to just say she's an old bag.
No, I'm not saying that.
You didn't call her yesterday, Dan?
I did, but then she...
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
I called her twice. She didn't pick up. Then she... I never talked to her.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Landry,
did you leave a message? Did you leave a voicemail?
We're dialing now. I don't think you'll be able to hear. I don't think she'll pick up because she won't pick up like a strange number.
But it's Inauguration Day.
Hello?
Mom?
Yeah, Danny.
Hey, how you doing? I'm calling you on the air.
Oh.
Want me to prove it?
No.
Happy birthday.
Hey.
Thank you.
Are you drinking yet?
No. Nope. I talked to Ava yesterday for about 30 minutes.
Wow.
Was she nice to you?
She's always nice to me.
The guys here are afraid of Ava.
Lucky. No, she's not nice to us.
No.
She's not? I can't believe that. That's
Oh,
not true.
I can tell you stories.
She's a lovely girl.
What's the temperature like in Cleveland, Ohio?
It's about 14 degrees.
That's tough.
But the sun's out a little.
Okay.
Watch the inauguration?
No,
Not fired up about it?
not in the least.
I saw that Vivek is going to run for governor of Ohio.
Who is?
Don't worry about it. There was a guy who was in the news with Trump.
Vivek Ramaswamy?
Correct. He's going to run for governor of Ohio.
Oh, God.
You're in Trump country, aren't you?
Oh, it's going to be ugly, I think. But
Is Rose fired up today?
probably. She was all worried about seeing the inauguration because her TV and where she's staying wasn't working properly. And
she's probably on
so
wind
she was
power.
going to go buy a computer so she could watch it on the computer.
Okay.
Rose is really into Trump.
Yeah.
She's a big Trumpie. She owns a Trump bear.
I used to have one.
I sent you a photograph, Dan.
Yeah. So, what's going on Cleveland sports-wise these days? What are we fired up about?
Nothing as far as I know.
Okay. I think the Cavs have like 2 losses all year. Nobody cares about the Cavs, do they?
Oh, no. Cavs are a big deal. But,
Okay.
I mean, we don't... You know, I don't see very many people that are going to games anymore and stuff like that.
What are the thoughts on Deshaun Watson these days?
Oh, he's not very well liked.
No.
But, you know, the Browns.
Sure, that's what people have been saying. But, you know.
But, you know, it's the Browns.
It's the Browns. What's
Yeah.
the last movie you and Rose went and saw?
The last movie we saw before she left for Texas or Florida. She went to Florida. God, I can't remember. We saw that Gladiator movie. That was awful. Well, it wasn't. It was dumb, but
Gladiator 2.
yeah, it wasn't anywhere near as good as the first Gladiator.
Mm.
It had a story, but they had so many things they threw in there just to make it long enough to be a movie that it was kind of stupid.
Is Denzel gay in the movie?
Is who gay?
Is Denzel?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just that, like, they did anybody there see it? Did you guys see it?
No, go ahead. Spoil it.
They filled the Coliseum with water and had sharks at the Gladiators.
Okay,
had to fight.
that's a little... All right. I feel like even
And
for
then-
you and Rose, that's a little unbelievable.
And another time they brought in, like, rhinos and
Yeah.
other lions, and it was just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, totally unbelievable.
So Rose wouldn't believe that, but she did think JFK Jr. was going to be at Dealey Plaza last summer.
Well, she at some point in time stopped believing that John F. Kennedy Jr. was still alive. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Good.
Took a while. She thought that I was just like being so stupid, not believing.
Yeah. What do we got tonight? Are we got our bridge game?
No, it's pinochle night.
Pinochle night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Last night, your brother made dinner for me. It was lovely.
That does sound lovely. What a caring son.
Yeah. I would never do that.
Yeah, he made ribs and potatoes. He baked me a cake.
How
What
about
a
that?
sweet boy.
Wow.
He is a nice kid. I would never do that for you.
That's not true. You're just not close enough.
That's right. I would
I'm
do
sure
that
if
every
you were
day.
there, he'd be.
Yeah. I wouldn't wait for your birthday to bake you a cake. I'd be doing
You
it
wouldn't
every...
know what day it was. You'd
Yeah.
be getting just treated like a queen.
Oh, look, flowers again. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, happy
that-
birthday.
Thank you, dear. And your brother wanted you to know that he beat you to the punch in wishing me a happy birthday because he texted me at like 12:15 a.m.
What's he trying to make up for?
What?
What's he trying to
What's
make
he
up
trying to
for? It
make
just
up
seems
for?
a late night text, a cake, a dinner. It's
He's
seems
been
kinda,
the,
seems
he's
kinda
been the
fishy.
bad son all of her life.
Seems a little fishy.
Yeah.
It's funny.
He's trying to get on the good side. He's trying to get all that inheritance money.
Oh, yeah.
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 I know his game.
All right, well,
He
happy
put his-
MLK
he put
Day.
his house on the market.
Oh, good. Happy MLK Day, yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
What happened with him?
With MLK?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know?
Where were you when he died?
Where was I? I don't know.
Where were you when
I was
Kennedy died?
in school.
Okay, you're racist.
Hmm.
Because you don't know where
Selectively
you were.
remember
when-
one.
Yeah.
Well, they announced it over. I mean, they just went and told everybody. They didn't tell everybody when Martin Luther King died.
That's true. Yeah. It's, you find out the next day.
It's hung a mission accomplished banner.
Yeah.
That's not funny.
Oh.
Yeah, Jake.
Come on, man.
I can't believe you would say that.
Well, I hear somebody laughing all the way in Cleveland, Ohio.
You guys are silly.
All right.
You're the best.
Well, I love you. I'll talk to you
Thanks for
later
Dan.
sometime. I guess I don't have to talk to you for another week now since we talked today.
Very funny, Dan.
All right. Goodbye. Good luck tonight in your
Goodbye.
card game.
Thank you. You have a good time
There
today.
she goes, folks.
It's like a marathon card game. They'll play from like 3 until midnight.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I feel like your mom has more zest for life left than I do. Is she off the phone?
Yeah.
Didn't have the heart to ask if she had had another one, if she would have named it also after the last guy who
Yeah.
who was up in there.
I'm named after my dad, and my brother's named after his dad.
Yeah. Would she have named the third one Julio or whatever?
Yeah. Let's see. Monday, January 20th, today. So yesterday was Mom's birthday. On this day in 1930, Kennesaw Mountain Landis banned boxing for all baseball players. Apparently that was a big deal in the offseason.
Sure.
Boxing matches. On this day in 1968, in Houston, it was the largest basketball crowd ever as they see UCLA play Houston. Houston beat UCLA, ending their 47-game winning streak. Lou Alcindor was on that team. You know who that is, Blake?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
There you go. The sports guy right there.
No.
On this day in 2020, Tim Tebow got married to Demi Leigh Nell Peters in South Africa. She's from South Africa.
So these...
And she was Miss Universe.
Is it Allstate, the backup quarterback ads?
The backup quarterback ads with like Colt McCoy, I think, is Progressive.
Okay, is it
Case
Progressive?
Keenum.
Yeah, but I don't.
So, like, first, I get that some guys, were termed just backup quarterbacks, but Jacoby Brissett is now in some of them, and he started this year. Like, that's kind of a reduction for him, I feel like.
So is the point here that Established the Run Dad is now mad about who's in what commercial because they weren't really backup quarterbacks?
Well, Jacoby Brissett started this year. I'm just
he
saying.
started a couple games. He's not thought of as a starter.
I know, but if I'm Jacoby Brissett, I'm saying to the guy, like,
I'm not taking
you
this
picture me
check.
as a backup quarterback. I've started for a bunch of teams.
Case Keenum went to, I think he went to a conference championship.
He did.
Get mad about that. Why are you mad at Jacoby?
This is something to not be mad about at all.
Okay, anyway, so I just bring it up. Tim Tebow's ad is like, "Are you inaccurate?" And it's Tim Tebow. It's like, why are these guys just letting these companies poo all over them?
That's awesome.
Stand up for yourself.
Money, baby, money.
I was surprised that Blake's a little touchy about the execution of a bit.
I mean, Colt would have won or beat Alabama in the national championship. I don't know. If he wants to take down a Beehive and be labeled a backup quarterback, I guess that's on him.
Take on a Beehive. You?
Yeah, it's in the commercial.
Oh, I see.
It would be very funny, though, if Blake had started referring to himself and his fans as
Beehive.
The Beehive.
Yeah. The Blake.
Yeah.
He's the Beehive.
Do it.
Right.
Who just ride for the
a message from the
monthly
Beehive
business
today.
Birthdays today, Mark Stepnoski, 58.
Weed.
He likes the weed.
Ken Hamlin, 44.
Cowboy.
Nick Foles, 36.
He was not an
Still
option.
going.
I think he's got a huge dick.
Big Dick Nick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Why am I excited about that? Ron Harper is 60. Former Cav.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Traded for Danny Ferry. Yes, former Bull.
Jordan hated him, right?
I don't know.
He liked him.
Oh, he liked him.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
Pippen.
No.
Tyler Hero, 25.
Wow.
Is he good or not?
It depends.
He's okay.
He's very annoying.
Averaging like 25 a game, isn't he?
No, he can score for sure.
Shoot.
Ray Caruth, 51.
Oh my. Oh my.
You know his bit?
Right?
Colorado, indeed.
Do you know his bit, Blake?
I guess not.
Wasn't he a Carolina Panther?
Of course.
Number 89. Number 89.
Shot and killed his pregnant girlfriend and stuffed her in a trunk?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Or was he hiding in a trunk?
Yeah, and the kid's alive now.
And
I
then
think.
the kid's alive now, but
Not doing well.
mentally not great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Really funny bit. Really funny bit in Kings
Happy
of Comedy
birthday,
about it.
I guess.
About Ray Caruth?
Yeah, because they shoot it in Charlotte.
Okay.
All the news about your football team.
Does it travel well, or
Good
was it just a good bit then?
Shut up.
Bill Maher, 69.
New rule.
Rainn Wilson, 59.
Office.
Which one is she?
It's a boy.
Melissa Rivers is 57.
It's Dwight.
What's her bit?
She's Joan Rivers' daughter. She was on Fashion Police. They did Bitch Stole My Look.
Oh, your favorite.
She's great.
Rain also got in a Twitter fight with Gordon about shooting elephants.
Okay.
Questlove, 54.
Greatness.
Really?
Kellyanne Conway, 58.
Crypt Keeper. Is she back in the fold?
I think she's a correspondent.
Evan Peters is 38. Says here Dahmer. Did he play Dahmer in that movie?
Yeah, I think he did.
Remember Dahmer? Remember that was a big thing for a little while?
Yeah.
Everybody had a Dahmer thing?
I let
That's
that.
great.
You watched it?
I mean, yeah, but I like the interview with him and his dad at the same time, and that was really like my peak Dahmer.
I
Have you ever
skated
seen
on
that?
all that stuff. Like, Mino
You
was
hated
really
it?
into it at the time. I just skipped all of it. We had a realization over the weekend, too, of just like, I'm just not watching anything scary or bummer, ever. Like, at all. I've removed that part of art from my life. I can't do it.
So you won't come over on Christmas?
And watch Centipede 3 or Texas
Night of the Living
Chainsaw
Dead
Massacre. Yeah.
Why'd you
Saw.
do this? Is it like a trigger or something? Like
I think so. I think it probably started with kids.
I think it's kids. You just
you
get drawn more to like positive stuff on TV. Like I don't know. I felt good watching Bolt the other night.
Oh, how could you not?
It's a great movie.
It's a great
But then, like, I
movie.
realized, what am I
Remember
doing?
when we were like a heterosexual show?
I know.
All of us.
I'm with you.
I hope you guys come back someday. Back over to this side.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Buzz Aldrin, 95.
Wow.
So I was trying to go
alive.
I didn't want to text TC about it, so I went actually to the podcast app and just tried to scroll back as far as I could for IJBs to find the original. I don't think it's on there.
No, we had a big server crash.
But does it exist somewhere within TC's computers?
Oh yeah, we have all of them. People, yeah.
Okay. Because I wanted to hear it like unbeeped, uncut. It was back when we were doing the GBL, and it was very exciting to me that Jake and TC were doing a podcast, and they were breaking down the GBL as if it was the NFL draft, like the next day.
I had prepared big boards.
Yeah, they would talk about every pick, the odds that they would be booked. I mean, I was like, man, this is really cool that someone's doing 2 hours on our 15-minute segment. And, that's when Jake had his...
I don't know, man.
Do you hate listening to young Jake?
I mean, who doesn't? Right? Everybody hates
I love it.
Yeah?
We need to embrace... I think we need to find that guy again. Like, not the
I know.
extreme. We
No
need to
joke.
find that guy again.
That guy...
Like, I miss a good old rant from Jake.
That guy had to take a month off earlier or later last year. No, I agree.
I want to ask you, because I haven't been drinking since June either. I want to ask you like an alcohol question. This is just kind of a thing. Do you partake in like non-alcoholic beer, or is it just kind of like you leave that alone?
No, I do occasionally. I've been out for about a week and I haven't replaced them, but I do like having them. But it's not as it was a bigger deal in October when it was still kind of warm. I tend not to want them when it's cold. And last time we did a stream party, there was a guy who's like a liquor rep here, and he gave me a bottle of non-alcoholic tequila, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? like the beer I could see, but the tequila, I'm looking at it
like if you like the taste of beer,
and I do kind of like the taste of really good tequila, but not
but it's usually like it's a trade-off. Like
Right.
you know how tequila makes you feel, and you're kind of going like you're not going to get a tequila snow cone.
Is there like
you're
a
not-
gummy worm at the bottom of the bottle?
No, it's tofu.
Yeah, piece of shrimp.
You know what's funny though is I don't do that, but I completely forgot what I was about to say. I got distracted.
Alcoholic beer maybe, or
completely
tequila?
Tofu.
Oh no! So I don't really do the non-alcoholic beer that much, but I will tell you, and even if you're just like a regular drinker who doesn't have a problem, and you quit, maybe you probably experienced this, Landry, because you fit into that category.
Yeah.
I'm fucking hammering ice cream now.
I like ice cream more now too. Do you ever get the one that's like a 400 calorie pint or whatever?
Halo Top.
Yeah, that's just like I like sweets a lot more now.
I
Like,
didn't
a
really
lot
like
more.
sweets, and I
like
still
Halo
don't
Top.
really like sweets, but I have a craving for them way more now. Because if you're consuming, even if you're somebody who has like 2 or 3 drinks a day on a regular basis, which is considered a lot, but if you do that and you think you're fine, if you stop, your body is going to crave sugar. So like, that was a big deal at rehab that people were like, can we get some candy? Something? And they were real tight about it. And now I notice, like, after the daddy-daughter dance on Saturday, I'm like, they got a new milkshake place. Why don't we pop in there?
Like if you were telling Jake in August, you can go back to tell yourself stuff to bring to rehab. Would it be like bring a bunch of candy bars or something?
If you were allowed.
Oh, you're not allowed to bring that?
Fuck no.
You can't bring candy bars?
You can't bring anything.
I didn't
Why?
know that.
Oh, because
You'll sneak stuff in.
Yeah. I mean, I had to get. You can't have. No, you had stuff that was in the package only, and they wouldn't let me have 5-hour energy.
There's a guy on Squid Game Season 2 who's sneaking in like acid or something, and he'll do the games on that.
They definitely would have frowned on that.
I don't know what it is he's taking. Anybody else on Squid Game? No. Okay. On to the deads. I'll start with dead on this day, still dead. Josh Gibson, the Black Babe Ruth. They call
Don't his
him.
numbers count now? Didn't baseball like put the numbers together to where he's like up there on the all-time home run list? Did they do that, or I dream it?
Well, I don't think together because he never played in the majors.
No, but I think they took the Negro leagues and like put it. It was a weird
I'm
gesture,
looking at it.
but they put like the home run kings and they count the Negro leagues now too.
Like
really
does Satchel Paige's wins count?
It's their version of in racism NFL, except it's in the record book. Like I don't know what they're doing.
Well, I thought we already retired the number for everybody.
Let it go.
I mean, when is racism over?
As soon as they put choose love on the foul poles, that's when racism will be over.
I don't like everyone wearing Jackie's number. I actually think that's disrespectful. You're just acting like anyone can wear Jackie's number on whatever day they wear it. I actually think that's a little.
Because no other player received any racism except Jackie Robinson. So everything was great for Larry Doby. So you should just let everybody wear that number.
This is the guy who's over here trying to get the entire WNBA as League of the Year on time.
Wasn't Dan?
You think Larry Doby does feel some type of way? And they're always interviewing.
Of course he does.
But they're always interviewing his family. It's like, yeah, what about what Jackie went through? And it's like, well,
are you guys looking at me too?
We were excluded from the same water fountain. But yeah, great guy, that Jackie Robinson.
Also died on this day, Alan Freed. He is a Cleveland DJ who coined the term rock and roll.
Right on.
Get him. Did he get any money for that?
You go to his mailbox, look for the rock and roll coining term. And Meatloaf.
Wow.
Died on this day in 2021. Born on this day, now dead. Let's start with David Lynch.
Don't get it, folks. I don't get it.
A lot of David Lynch talk.
Speaking of trying to seem like you're reading books.
You think if you claim to really love David Lynch,
yeah,
that you also are in that other camp?
Yeah. Dude, I believe you. You read all of it. It's okay. I already believe you. You probably like musicals. I
never did Twin Peaks. I know some people who just love it, though.
It kind of seems like
I like that one movie.
Slightly funny version of Tim Burton. This is just shit I don't get.
I mean, that sounds like you prefer to run the ball a little bit.
It probably does. It probably does. You know, give me a little Bruckheimer.
DeForest Kelley. He was Bones on Star Trek. And Blake, born on this day now. He was born on this day in 1896. He died in 1996. He was George Burns.
Oh, my. Smithers.
Yeah.
That's not him.
And that
Go check out the locker room, everybody.
History.
You know, closing remarks brought to us by Frankel & Frankel. It's personal injury attorneys, 214 or 817, all threes if you get in an accident. If you have a personal injury, they're the guys to call. And they're great sponsors of our show, and we appreciate them. Frankel & Frankel. And Frankel & Frankel & Frankel.
Thanks, Landry.
All right, fellas. See ya.
Any closing remarks from you, Dexter? Our video man for today. We want to promote anything? You have your own video company or something? Like if somebody wants to...
Blueberry Media?
Blue Bear.
Blue Bear.
Media.
Kind of does have a bear type vibe, right? Like,
well, that fits in with you two homos.
I was going to say, this guy looks like he'd crush me and love me, and...
That's why you hooked up with him?
Yeah.
I want to bring the bear in here.
You don't just yell top.
That goes without saying, right?
Yeah, nobody thought I was Dom and the big blue bear over here. See you tomorrow.
Adios, mofo.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. We sit up here, look at this draft guru, Gilbrand, the late, the great Gilbrand. This man has more talent than anybody. Oh, a phone is ringing. Oh, a phone is ringing. Hello? Hello? A phone is ringing. Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. Hello?